Hello and welcome everybody to another day, another broadcast of the NGE Shadowverse Open. It's a very exciting time for us because we are in the round robin stages. I'm Rainey, I'm your host for today, and joining me once again is Aya Senpai and Envy Bear. How are you guys doing? Feeling pretty good?
I'm doing good.
I all of a sudden am noticing, first of all, you always have the most fantastical shirts, Aya.
Thank you.
But this one seems a little darker than your previous ones. Your previous ones were pretty bright.
Yeah. Just a little change of pace, that's all.
Change
keep
of
you
pace.
guys on your toes.
I appreciate your care and intentionality in that experience. But we have a lot of Shadowverse action to get through today. Top 12 players of the European competitive scene right now. Over a course of 3 weeks did they qualify. Let's take a look at what they have to do today and what they're going to have to do in the next few weeks to win the tournament. The top 12, which we have acquired, will be split off into two groups, Group A and Group B. And these players will play off in a round robin. Each player in the group plays each other player in the group. And when everybody has fought against each other, we take those results and take the top 3 performers from each group and put them into a double elimination playoffs bracket where they will fight for $16,000 worth of prize pool money, and that's per region. So today is Europe, tomorrow will be North America, and we have quite a few players that have made it through. I mean, there have been a lot of names. I think a bunch of them associated with teams like HSK and EXG, and some of them actually not having a team kind of associated with them. Maybe in the coming few weeks here, as they perform in the NGE Shadowverse Open, there might be some interest in picking them up. So we'll see how that plays out. Before we get too deep into the weeds, I want to remind you guys that there are opportunities to follow the tournament and read up on articles and kind of learn more about the players. Go to shadowverse.ng.io. You can find all the information there. And if you want to talk about Shadowverse, if you want to find announcements and social media posts, at Shadowverse Game is your location to go and discuss with whoever you want, whatever you want. And sometimes the three of us read a little bit. I would also like to take this time to remind you guys that you can definitely join our Discord server and have discussions there. You'll probably be able to talk to some of the pros that are playing, as well as some of the other community members that follow the Shadowverse Open, and maybe even individuals such as Aya Senpai or Envy Bear herself. I don't know if you guys require any kind of, subscribe to your channel or anything. Is that how you guys operate? No?
Nah, I don't require that, man.
That's exactly what I
would do. Talk, they can just say, hey, what's up, man?
That's exactly
I don't make
what
them do that. No, don't have to do
The instant I get that subscriber button, I am becoming elitist. 100%. Don't talk to me unless you subscribe. That would be my plan of action.
It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work?
Exactly,
No,
it's not gonna work.
Dang it. Alright, well, hey, let's talk about our first match today. Lana and Praetorian. Now, these two names, I'm not too... So the European scene is a little bit interesting now because I feel like there are a lot of names rising, and some of them are a little more well established, but in general I feel like they're very new to kind of at least the broadcast aspect of the Shadowverse scene. Lana from Denmark, Praetorian from Bulgaria. If we're going to take a quick look over some of their decks here, now they've built these decks specifically for their opponents because of our round robin format. These deck choices are locked in per match, right? So Lana versus Praetorian, he's not going to have to carry this deck through the entire round robin phase. Next week or in his next match, he can actually decide and prepare a new set of decks for his opponent. So the 3 lists that he's brought is Haven Aegis, a pretty vanilla Aegis list. I don't think there's anything necessarily too surprising there. His Blood list is the growing in popularity once again Vengeance Blood list, including Emeralda and Soul Dealer. Of course, 1 drop of Soul Dealer and then the Belphegor to help get yourself there. But talk to me about the Dragoncraft list, Aya Senpai. What is this Dragoncraft list? Tell them what it is and why.
Oh, well, the why will be a little difficult, but I will certainly tell you what it is. So what we have here is essentially on the surface kind of looks like a very standard ramp dragon list, but there are very few things, and they're really important, that kind of stand out. One, he's running 3, count them, 3 Worm God of the Skies. That is unbelievable. And usually it's accompanied with Genesis Dragon, or because it's the biggest Stormfall, or even possibly Zeus, but not in this deck. In this deck, he's just running 3 Fortes, and he's using that in combination with Erd. The fact that the deck ramps really quickly allows him to get to this really fast, so he can just straight burst out his opponent, and they won't even see what happened. It just happened. They're dead. GG. The only other thing about this deck to really point out is the lack of healing in it. Unlike most Dragon decks, this deck has like no healing at all, except for the Sybil Draconic Fervor. There's really no healing. And I misspoke. There is one other thing to point out, and it's the Master of Draconic Arts that he's running in triplicate. I honestly have no idea why he's playing this card, but I would love to. I would love to know.
We're going to do some discovering today. So it seems like it's a very fast-paced deck that's looking to really do a lot of damage, ramp up to those play points, and execute its combo as soon as possible. Envy, you seem pretty good at either putting a rating on particular decks and their success rate, or predicting the future of how these decks go. In your mind, is this Dragoncraft deck going to do things for Lana? What is the percentage chance that it's actually going to push him through this round robin week?
It's against Shadow Rune, so I don't know. Like ramp dragons, basically, if you ramp, you're good, and if you don't, you're not good. So
oh no.
Plus Bahamut is actually not very good against Shadow at all, so
that's true.
I don't know. I think his lack of healing will hurt him.
That's very true. So we are about to jump into the game, but just very quickly before we do, Praetorian, of course, has a mid-shadow deck. His Havencraft deck is a line neutral that has been banned out, so it's not going to be played. And then, of course, the Runecraft deck is a burn dirt rune deck, rune burn craft dirt deck. So that's what we have to think about. Haven Aegis on Lanathel's side is banned out, so both players actually banned out their Haven lists. Maybe I talk about that a little bit. Why do you think that was the case?
Well, I think that since Haven does, pack a substantial amount of banish, which Shadow doesn't want to deal with, that certainly could play a major factor in why Praetorian would ban it out. As far as Lanathel banning it out, I'm a little interested in that choice as well as to why he would ban it. But if I were to say a reason, I would say that Haven is incredibly strong versus Praetorian's lineup, where Lanathel would ban out Haven or whatever, because Rune. I'm really losing my mind here. Okay, let me try that again. Praetorian would ban Rune ban Haven, because his Rune list would fall prey to the Haven list as well as the Shadow list. So Lanathel would ban Haven because Haven would be very strong against Lanathel's blood deck. There, got it out.
Words.
Yeah, I got it out.
Praetorian's got a pretty okay curve into 4, kind of. Like, it's not very great. Against Lanathel's sort of like mid-range aggro reach blood, this may actually be a bad hand for Praetorian.
Well, this isn't exactly the type of hand you want to see if you're Lanathel. Like, you want to be getting into Vengeance as early as possible. You want that Belphegor, so you can jam it down, and then you can start pressuring every turn after that. He doesn't currently have that. He may even have to play one of these Dark Generals raw. That's just not... Ugh. Whew!
Yeah, he did. You're right. He is strong. He drew 2 Dark Generals and then healing options, which is kind of like the opposite of what he really wants. And his next turn may actually involve like killing this Lich with that Diabolic Drain, maybe? I don't know. If he doesn't draw anything, Ooh.
Oh well. Yeah, he's in a sizable amount of trouble here, and not only that, but the Diabolic Drain doesn't even kill the Lich.
It doesn't. He had to go for a Dance of Death, and then Dark General kills herself on Erd, and this is a bad situation.
This is actually one of the few matchups where Legion's Blood really well if it gets an excellent start. And unfortunately, he just didn't. He just opted to go face. I don't even care.
Ignore the Erd completely evolved for face. Wow.
I don't necessarily disagree with it. I mean, it forces.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, he's essentially saying, "I'm challenging you to do something about this." So I don't disagree with it.
His deck does have pretty good reach. Like I said, Dark General, Blood Wolf, Sabuar can go face. Like, there's a lot of cards in this deck that just want to go face. So
yeah. And it's not like he doesn't have a fair amount of, ways to, draw into, say, some burn damage or whatnot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's got insane reach, and he knows that Praetorian's not going to put him in Vengeance. Like, Praetorian knows that he's going to... Ooh. He may not need him to.
I don't think he can play that.
If Soul Dealer comes down... He could actually play Soul Dealer into Drain and still be at 9.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't be just
Dark General online.
Yeah, I don't know if I would really want to play that. I think I like this line a lot more. I don't think you would want to play that Soul Dealer there.
Sabuar face, yeah.
Yeah.
He also could save Soul Dealer for a cheeky 8 mana play. He can go for Soul Dealer on himself into Dark General.
He could do
which
that.
Would be wouldn't be terrible.
No, it wouldn't. And I think at this point he kind of has to plan along those lines, knowing that he doesn't really have a way of, say, killing him right now or killing Praetorian right now. And as you can see, Praetorian's really thinking about what's going on right now.
Well, I think this turn is fairly self-explanatory. You get 2 shadows, you play Death's Breath. Yeah, you realize that your opponent, you've seen a Dark General and you've seen Sabuar, and they went face, didn't even bother killing a skeleton. So you know your opponent's just going face, 100%.
Right.
Getting that 9 effective health down in wards is 100% your play this turn.
Well, what we can definitely say is Lana is going to have a really difficult time getting around this, and Praetorian opted to use his Evo here and go and push even more damage.
Outside of like Demonic Storm, Praetorian is now essentially at 17 life. So this is gonna be tough for Lanafel. And actually, if he bothers killing anything, Inkter just ends the game. So.
Yep, it's like he's in a really tough spot right now. And then if he plays that Blood Wolf, I mean,
it actually
even if he doesn't kill something,
yeah, because the skeleton can kill itself on Urius now, or the devil. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, like
so that's just game.
Either you do or you don't, and in this place, it doesn't matter which one he chooses because he's just dead. So, and this is yet another reason, and it just kind of go straight on, personal. This is why, I don't even run Soul Dealer in Vengeance Blood anymore because you'll never play it.
True that.
I lost. You're tough.
And that game went pretty textbook.
For sure.
In that game, really easily. Lanafel just did not get a good start. He just not at all. He didn't get any vengeance activators. He's sitting there with cards in his hand, but he couldn't do anything with them.
I mean, he was going first in an aggro deck. He had it there, but he just wasn't. He wasn't top decking into the good stuff, and he got Death's Breath on curve. So,
yeah, Death's Breath on curve for most decks is
it's a strong card. Man. When it activates the ward with 6 shadows, it's really, really good.
Yeah. I mean, even if you don't have the shadows, you're still getting 6/6. You're still technically getting a 6/6, out of it.
Yeah,
and
across 3 bodies. Yeah,
it's really good.
That is
Second
true.
game.
Rune versus blood. Ooh.
Time to get started.
Well,
I guess
I
you're
will say
looking for a
that
fight.
Praetorian's build is way better equipped to fight against Lanathel's Vengeance because he's running Burn. He's running the Levies. He's running the Dance of Death. He's running the Piercing Rune. He's even running Mutagenic Bolt. So
That is true. That is true. He's also not just that though. He's also got the neutral package, which he just drew all of. So
yeah,
like,
his curve
he's
is
just
set.
gonna curve
He's
into all
ready
of
to
it.
go.
yeah.
My food.
It was an excellent draw. Witch of Sweets. Wow.
These are
Even
my
has
best
Grimnir and
friends.
Alice too. This is gonna be great for him.
And draws the Felice. Oh my goodness, man. He's ready to go over there.
Yeah, Felice is a card that I've seen become more popular recently. She's kind of weird. When she comes into play, she'll do damage to a creature or a minion, or follower, equal to the number of neutrals in your hand. And then if you enhance her, she can evolve for free. If you enhance her on 7, and she has Storm when she evolves. So
yeah. That also means
Kind of a
though that
weird
you
new
can
card.
normally evolve it, and it will
Yeah.
still get Storm.
it still gets Storm. Yeah, exactly. It's an incredible aggro card.
Yup. And we're seeing right now, Praetorian opting to take out the Spiderweb Imp, which didn't necessarily get tons of value, but it did prevent a lot of damage. And of course, like, Vengeance Blood is not a deck that generally cares
doing
too
this
much
for
about
you.
taking damage in the early game.
Right.
You know, it just wants to be in control of the damage it takes in the early game.
Lands of wonders.
Ooh, this Alice.
Lands of
Oh no.
Oh, this is exactly what you don't want.
Literally what you don't want, right?
Change the world.
There's a
Yeah,
few
this
ways
is
to make this
exact-
trade. Looks like he's gonna
Wish
go
I tried
for
harder.
killing the 2/1 off on this ward. Yeah, okay.
Wish I tried harder.
Yeah.
And doing 5 face
not-
sounds good to me. Ooh.
And not to mention, he does have that Felice, you know, sitting in hand.
Yeah.
So if he wants to play that next turn and evolve it and just go straight face with the, he's got that.
This is my home. You are
Well,
my food.
Zach.
Go.
That
Not
does stop
exactly
him.
the fully willing.
Yeah.
I think he probably
Let's play
would have
again.
given a lot to get a Blood Wolf off of that pole.
Yeah, for sure.
Would have been a trade. Would have been able to trade into that Goblin.
Yeah. You
But
also wouldn't trigger the
unfortunately-
2 damage to yourself, so it's just a straight value wolf.
Yep. But unfortunately, that is not the case. And
Goes
this
for the
Felice is
Felice,
going to
3
do 1
kills.
damage.
1 damage, man.
It won't
Matters.
be long now.
It looks like he's actually gonna put
No
Lanafel
time.
in Vengeance
No
this
looking
turn.
Honestly, I don't disagree with it.
It is Vengeance
You know-
Blood, though. There's some danger here.
There is a bit of danger, but he's at 19. Like,
That is true. That is true.
he's at 19.
Yeah. He put Lanafel in the danger zone, but I don't think he's gonna care.
And not to mention, Praetorian's still sitting with that
Check
that
this
left
out.
in his hand.
Yeah.
Time warming.
The world is mine.
Like, oh man, this feels awful.
That did not feel good, I'm sure. Knowing that another Felice can just free kill that as well.
Yeah. Ooh.
He's gonna have
Oh.
Levi here to create a fireball, probably?
Yeah, he's gonna. I don't see a way he doesn't play that levy right now.
Right.
Well, maybe there is a way he doesn't play that levy. He could go for the Goblin plus the
That's true.
Faria.
It looks like he's not
He's
going
not
to, though.
that.
Yeah.
I'm just a mage.
I think he's gonna leave up the sig. He might. He's gonna fireball face, I think.
This ends
Well,
here.
it will put him at 3.
It's just like back in the
Which-
old days.
Yeah. And not
If you
to mention,
fireball
he doesn't.
face, Mutagenic Bolt is really, really good. And it also takes away options like Razor Claw or Blood Wolf, but it looks like he's just gonna play the 2/2 and pass. This is good too. I mean,
Oh,
Fun and games. Show's
there's
over.
that other reason. Not.
that's almost
like-
not good enough though.
What are you doing?
Yeah, it's not. He's just dead.
Actually, no, it's not. He has lethal. Mutagenic Bolt, fireball attack.
yeah,
face.
Mutagenic Bolt. Right.
Yeah. It's actually not good enough. She came down and killed 2 minions, but that rat's gonna kill him. Lana fell with the hands up. He's like, oh well.
And then Praetorian gave him a little wave. You see that?
Oh, you're tough.
He gave him a little wave. He's like, bye-bye.
Poor Lana fell. Oh no.
Oh my gosh. I love that so much. I can't. So that's actually a new feature that we have is the webcams there. We can see the players, and I actually really like that Praetorian gave that little wave. See ya. Talk to me a little bit about how that game played out there. I think Lanathel ended up getting put into a really tough situation, almost just by nature of how the decks played out, by how the cards drew. Obviously, I think in 2 games, both games we saw Lanathel on his Vengeance Blood not getting Vengeance by 4, right? And even then, and not only that, not even getting options to help tide himself over, or even things like Blood Wolf to start aggression early on. Talk to me about how you felt that game went for him, Aya Senpai, and where you think the learnings should be for Lanathel here, if there are any.
Well, there definitely is. The thing about Vengeance Blood is that Vengeance Blood is an incredibly adaptable deck. It can kind of switch its mode depending on its build. So you don't necessarily have to play pure Vengeance and etc. etc. Like, you don't have to be like, all right, well, I'm going to put Soul Dealers in. I'm going to do like the whole pure high roll dice version of it. You can go a little bit more conservative with it. You can play a little bit more of a mid-range / control with the deck. And I think that would have done a lot better against Praetorian's lineup. Praetorian just happened to get good draw after good draw after good draw. And Lanathel's draws were just bad, despite being on the play. I believe in both games, he just drew badly. He just did not have answers. He just, he just kind of was like, all right, man, just put me out of my misery, bro.
Put me out of my misery. And Lanathel certainly did. Gave him a hearty, good-mannered goodbye as well, right at the end there. For Praetorian, and Envy, I don't know how much more there needs to be said about this instead of as opposed to just the good draws. But we talked a little bit about the banning and the matchups. Is Vengeance Blood something that you would consider to be very strong against these particular decks? Do you think Vengeance Blood is kind of the deck to go to in the space right now, especially with things like Spawn of the Abyss kind of falling out of favor?
I actually think Vengeance Blood is bad against these 2 decks. These 2 decks are, they're decks that, well, first he never drew Belphegor, first of all. Never drew Belphegor in 4. That's just unlucky. But these decks are difficult to put yourself into Vengeance against. Like, Shadow, they always have stuff on the board, so they've always got stuff that can go face. And then Burn Rune. If you put yourself in Vengeance against that, you're just dead already. Because Felice is an insane card, right? She just can evolve, go 4 phase. And that pressure, and then his curve was just ridiculous anyway. But I actually think Vengeance Blood, because we saw him, he had Soul Dealer, he had Activators, but he was never able to safely put himself in Vengeance without just getting killed on the flip back. So I actually think that his deck he picked Blood twice there. I think he had a bad matchup twice. So
interesting. So that's actually something that these players are going to need to be very careful of when they submit their decks for this round robin format as well, especially because they are preparing for singular matches here against their opponent. You just need to be very careful that you're not picking a deck that has these aggressively bad matchups in some ways. And I don't know if we're talking 60-40 or 70-30. I don't really know what we're talking here in terms of percentages. And obviously, I mean, 70-30 would be pretty ridiculous in the context of a card game. But it definitely did seem, exactly as you pointed out, just the aggression and the board presence in each case for Rune and Shadow. Not really an opportunity for Blood to drop down to that 10 health point level and feel comfortable about it. But that means that Praetorian will take the first win here in the round robin stage, and so now he is technically first place in the placings. But the format of a round robin means that Lanathel still has a lot of opportunities to continue pushing through this tournament. He still has to play against the other 6 players, or rather, I guess, because there's 6 people in the group, he has to play the other 4 players and kind of see how his winning record is in that situation. And of course, again, it's the top 3 that will be moving on to the playoffs. And so we still have many more round-robin games. Lana is definitely not out, but we'll have to take those lessons and continuing through the round-robin, figure out how to make his decks more solid, research his opponent a little better, and kind of, figure out what is going to be the less risky pick, I would say. Next matchup we have is Akai and Kionas, and I think this is a pretty interesting one here. Both from France, so that's kind of cool. France has seemingly a pretty big player base, at least competitively in Shadowverse, which is awesome to see. And I'm going to go through Akai's deck list here. He's running Rune with Neutral and Felice that we've seen. And then his Shadow deck, which is banned out, was actually pretty cool. It's Nephthys Shadow. That's Mordecai, the Nephthys package. And the interesting thing is, Akai decided to include Deathly Tyrant and Midnight Haunt. So I would have loved to see that, but unfortunately we're not going to get to. And then his last deck is Stormhaven with Dark Jean. And Ayasempa, you talked a little bit about Prism Priestess and how you kind of didn't feel like it was such a strong choice, especially against aggressive decks. But that's Akai's list. Envy, if you could go through Kionas' list, and specifically I want to talk about the Swordcraft deck here. Tell us what is special about this deck, and how do you feel about it? How do you think it's going to fare in this day and age?
Well, I mean, Sword, period, is just kind of like whatever. EU actually hasn't been playing Sword for a while. They kind of fell off of that. It was more NA that always played it, and he's playing a lot of weird stuff. He's playing a lot of old cards. He's got Pompous Princess, which is kind of weird. Ascetic Knight, kind of weird. But he also has Odahime. So,
what?
I mean,
what is that card? What are you talking about?
Sea Queen Odahime.
Is this a card in the game?
It's one of my favorite cards in the game, actually. It's a 6-mana 3/4 that fills your entire board of that's free spaces with 1/2 vanilla bodyguards of Odahime, and they're adorable, of course they are. And he's not against Dragon, so he didn't ban Haven though. Haven has access to Themis, but Dragon getting like Breath of Salamander, playing Conflagration again, Bahamut. They're kind of like the main proponents of why we haven't seen Odahime in like forever. So maybe it's a good choice. I don't know. Maybe it'll win.
And Aya Senpai, how do you feel like? What do you think is the motivations and reasoning behind bringing Odahime? And is there a niche space where it has this area of opportunity where it can be successful, or do you think this is just a venture in defeat?
Well, I don't like looking at like decks in that way. Like the designer of the deck had something specific in mind. We don't necessarily know what it is, but we can guess. And in my opinion, I think he just wanted to be unorthodox. He just wanted to come with something that no one would expect. And not only that, but since it is round robin, and while each game does count, he does have a little bit of play space, so he can just kind of like throw a little unorthodox something in there. And I mean, that's the only thing I can really think of. I'm going to be rooting for him. I want to see it work.
I love his inclusion of Shadowed Assassin too, as well, which is you're on Fanfare Effect, I believe. You give all other allied followers on the field ambush. So obviously, when you flood the board with a bunch of followers, being able to kind of have that ambush effect tagged onto them can make them able to swing that extra time, or kind of just preserve their effectiveness for a little while. Assuming they don't get blown out by a big dragon in the sky or, get set on fire. Which, putting it that way, is a little bit violent now that I think about it. Oh my gosh, the poor guys. They just wanted to protect Odahime, that's all. But, let's talk a little bit about his other list. Blood was banned out, and it is Vengeance Blood, so we talked about that a little bit. Vengeance Blood seems to have been very popularly picked, but it is interesting. We talked about how many bad matchups they may have in this current iteration of the meta, because I do think that aggression is the name of the game. And in fact, Kionas is kind of running one of the proponents of that, Neutral Rune, as his last deck. Neutral Rune, obviously, a lot of direct face damage, a lot of opportunity to just swing from the pocket, and that's going to be his 3-deck setup. So it's going to be Sword and Rune versus Rune Haven on Akai's side. And we're going to have to see how that turns out. Talk to me a little bit about Stormhaven and Darkjan, and kind of where you see the new cards like Tea Time and Garuda fitting into this. Is Darkjan something that you even want to spend card space picking now? It does seem like a lot of Haven players are going back and forth on this. Envy, if you have any thoughts.
Darkjan's always a card. I think I'm in the leaning towards the camp of like not wanting to play Darkjan. I feel like against Sword, it's gonna go pretty well because he actually has something like he has 6 1-drops and like 32 drops or something.
Oh.
So it'll go over pretty well against that deck. But like most of the time, Darkjan, when you play her, she just bites you back. Like you can't wipe the board for it, and you just buff all their dudes, and then yeah, she's not a card you can play realistically sometimes. And I feel like for a 6-mana 5/5, she has to be playable like almost always. So
just that area of the game where it's super important that you have presence. If you have been getting beat up before then, you absolutely needed to happen at that point. And 6 play points is interesting because there are a lot of cards that are pretty impactful in that 6 play point area. I mean, in the previous day and age, there was a card called Spawn of the Abyss that was definitely 6 play points in that area, and I think it was pretty impactful. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that we're looking at, right? And I mean, in a less joking manner, there are things like right now Professor of Taboo and Master Mage Levi and stuff like that are very relevant now at the 6 play point area that you're kind of, I guess, competing with in some ways. But that's interesting to think about. So I want to hear from you guys, Akai or Kionas, based on what you think of their decks, and maybe if you have any insight about their skill level and their player personality. Senpai, who do you think is going to come out on top?
I think Akai has a bit more of a, I would say a competitive lineup, so I'm gonna have to go with him. But I personally will be rooting for Kionas because I want to see this sword deck in action.
Oh.
Yeah, is that the same for you, Envy?
Yeah, I wanted to root for the opposite one. I have to root for Kionas because he's playing Sword, so...
Right!
Yes, too.
It's Sword versus Haven, though. Haven used to be a beloved craft for you, was it?
Oh, it is! I love
Sword was
it.
my first love, yeah.
Oh, Sword was the first... Okay, well, you can never forget your first love. Though I can, because I've never been in love.
Wow. That's pretty depressing, right?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Hey, I led a life of loneliness. Okay. And that's probably going to continue more and more and more and more. But you guys don't need to be lonely. What you can do if you want to follow anything NGE Shadowverse related, you can go to our website, shadowverse.nge.io. It'll tell you when you can join all your friends and watch tournaments and have a happy time being social. Also, talking about social, at Shadowverse Game, that's where you can do social media stuff and interact with Shadowverse, interact with Watch NGE with the Shadowverse Open, and interact with us. Definitely hit us up on Twitter. I know we have some fantastic active Twitters that I constantly post on. And aspirations, I'll fake it until it becomes true. Aspirations, but definitely make sure you send those messages. Also, you can join our Discord and talk with some of the people who compete in the Shadowverse Open, talk to some of these beautiful faces here, and make sure you participate in all of that fun stuff. Check out our Twitch panels for more information about all of that. But jumping into the game soon, we've already seen the first match. Now it's Akai versus Kionas, both from France. And look at their lovely faces. Rune versus Haven. How do you feel about this? Talk to me about the mulligans, guys.
I guess you're looking for a fight.
Let's take a look here. So that's not a hand you want for Kionas. This is still not a hand you want for Kionas. He doesn't really have much of a low curve. However, Akai has, he's got a 2 and a 3. He doesn't have a 1-drop though, which is something he would have wanted, like a Pinion Prayer or Sacred Play. He didn't get either of those, but he will be able to start playing things on 2. And Kionas draws into a Goblin. Wow.
Very nice. Akai's also playing a very interesting card we haven't seen for a while, Mainu, who, interestingly enough, lines up really well against Rune. It's actually
because they can't target it.
So, yeah, that Piercing Rune won't be able to kill it. And he's got 2 of them now. Wow.
Nothing can get me down.
So
back in the old days, an evolved Mainu meant a lot for Rune.
Yeah, for sure.
Gimme.
All right, so unfortunately, Kionas did miss a 2-drop, but it looks like he's in okay shape. This is Minu though.
Block and Scripture was a great top deck there as well. He's able to clash with the Luxwing, get that extra damage in.
Yeah, for those who don't know, when Luxwing Reno it has a clash effect. That means whenever it attacks another follower, and whenever it does that, it does 1 damage to the opponent. And that also means if the opponent attacks it as well.
Coming right up.
It also does 1 damage on Evolve. Little random effect. It does, yeah.
Malice will never
Unfortunately for Manu, he can die in combat, so...
Yeah, he can do that, indeed.
Just no.
Alright, so...
He's called Arya gonna go off here.
Arya popping.
Yep. I think we might see a situation next turn where Dark Jun is just not good enough, by the way.
You're done for.
Whoa! I think he's setting up for this, actually. He's gonna go face, yep.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, there's no way he wasn't going face. Not
He
with
wants
that,
to
even.
set up for Dark Jun.
Unfortunately, though, you know, both of these 4s can easily be cleared this turn.
Exactly, yep.
So Dark Jean is just going to be like a dud.
Like I said, yeah. The 4-2 can turn into the 4-4, the Tiger, and then, ooh, okay. Hector could have done the same thing, but Felice will do this as well, and probably evolve. He might just go face here, actually, for 8 damage.
Crying. No looking back.
This is
Oh god.
This is a really aggressive line. Should he actually?
If he goes face, oh no.
Phase. I would be.
You have to think about Dark Jun. I don't think he's thinking about Dark Jun. He's not thinking about Dark Jun. Oh god.
Well, he's about to feel the pain. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe he's gonna opt not to play the Dark Jun.
So Dark Jun can come down and do 10 to Kionas and kill the 4-2 off. But if he does that, he'll die.
Alright, he's not doing Dark Jun. I actually am. I much prefer him not doing Dark Jun here.
The real battle.
This is a
he
much
definitely
safer
has to
play.
take out the tools. Yeah. But at least he'll still be able to do 4 damage.
He can still do 4 as well, yeah. But Dark Jun next turn, she kills this tiger. So you have to attack the tiger first. You get the bird buffed, but
Well, Hector is gonna be active. Definitely.
yeah,
active.
Hector's gonna kill the tiger. Realistically, Hector will kill the tiger, but like the guy doesn't know that.
Well, actually, Dark Jun will get some value if he evolves the. Oh, he's gonna do it a goblin. Much better. Evolve the goblin into the bird.
If Kionas plays around this and evolves the goblin into the bird, okay, he didn't evolve at all, so he technically played around it.
Yeah, it's wow, man. It's like he's like, I can see into your mind.
Kionas is playing around this Dark Jun. He knows it's a card, so
Yeah. He's got that. He's got that. You know what, man? You're not fooling me, face.
yeah. He's got that bird song popping next turn, which is a 3/4 bird with Storm that can turn into a 5/2 with the Dark Jun. So
You know, one of the really bad parts of Kionas' hand right now is that it's not empty. Meaning that his Wizardess is just kind of sitting there. And he's definitely going to have to burn his Evo point, this Tin Soldier.
that's true, but he's stacked with Alice and a bunch of neutrals, so I'm not sure if he's complaining.
Change the world.
Well, he might not be crying right now. I'm just saying, like, one
Here
of
we
the...
go, dude. This is actually...
Uh-oh.
This is
Dark
her moment.
John's
This is
time.
Dark Jun's moment. Here we go.
Uh-oh. Wow, Dark John's gonna get a full clear, a pump,
This
and
is an
deal 5
explosive
damage.
Dark Jun.
This is an easy Dark John.
Yeah, finally paying off. It even buffs the bird who doesn't die. This is actually very, very bad for Kionas.
Yeah, 5 damage, and he doesn't have a single storm or removal card in hand. Well, he does have Mutagenic Bolt now, but Mutagenic Bolt actually
Goes to the Oz. Bolt is
He does him
1.
more
You can
harm,
play
though.
that and Unica.
Yeah, he could. This is a choice, man. He's gonna play it.
I think he has to, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unica, while she doesn't have ward, kind of halfway does. So yeah, I like playing Unica over Witch here.
Agreed. Playing Witch would have been a little too...
A little too greedy, yeah. Oh no!
Ooh. No, no, no. Oh man.
Let's see.
Not what you want to see happen.
If he wants to banish the Oz, he can set up another Dark Jun on the board. Just a 5/5 on the board.
Mm-hmm. Man, this is... Let's see, what can he do?
He kills the rats.
He definitely has to
something
get rid
like
of these flame rats. And he has to clear this board. Like,
Yeah.
those are non-negotiable.
I think this rat goes face, you Dark Jun, and then banish the Oz. Yeah.
Save all worlds.
And there goes that. Bye. And now, I love Kionas' face. Oh my goodness! Like,
Oh my gosh! That's not.
Yeah,
it'll kill Dark Jun, but it's not like good enough though. It only does 3 damage.
yeah.
These are my best work.
It's gonna draw
Man.
first.
Yeah, I think he's dead. He can't. He can't do enough. Oh, he can. Oh no, he can kill it.
Dark Jun. He just can't.
It's just
kill
that he
face also.
can't win
Yeah.
right now.
There is.
This is kind of weird how Grimnir's gonna come down. The Grimnir doesn't kill him, by the way, but
No, it doesn't.
it doesn't kill him, but it wipes his board. So
this is a nail biter of a game, man.
it really
Like,
is. Yeah, it really is.
Both guys are.
Dance of Death.
Oh, wow. That was a good draw.
Man,
He's gotta really
But you
think
have
about
the
it,
Tin
though.
Soldier popping next turn.
Yeah, but the Tin Soldier can't attack next turn. Like,
Right, but it's much stronger than the Grimnir. Yeah, he's gonna go for it
I-
anyway. He actually does set up a lethal here with Alice. If one of the creatures,
And-
okay, the Goblin Mage has to live.
the Akai has to draw. Oh my goodness.
He can't evolve.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
game.
that's it.
Get me down.
He can't even attack the
He
board
has to
right now.
draw
That's just
something.
game.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Kionas.
Kionas with a straight face taking the win.
His
That
comeback
man's
from that
face
Dark
is
Jun though.
not
That was probably one of the best Dark Juns I've ever seen, and Kionas still came back through it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it has to do with the fact that, like, Kionas always had gas. He always had cards to play.
Yeah. For sure, he did. Always had gas.
Hey!
So you know what that
always
means?
had something to do.
Kionas has to play sword now.
Yeah, so now we're gonna see some Otohime action, hopefully. Hopefully.
Well, at least Shadow Assassin. We'll see Shadow Assassin or Otohime.
Mm-hmm.
But this deck has 6 1-drops, so if he goes first, this is likely going to be very good for him.
Is fighting
sure.
and despair all you know? You
He's
must
going
die.
second.
Not going first. Oh, there's the Otohime.
That's a mulligan though. You can't keep the Otohime in that
Yeah,
hand.
you're not keeping that. you're not keeping that.
And he gets a 5-drop. This is actually not a bad hand if he draws into a 3 and a 4. So
What do you think of Akai keeping Priesthood of Cudgel on the play?
it's interesting, but I think you're not evolving on 5, so why not you're not evolving a 5-drop, so why not evolve Cudgel on 5, right?
That's fair. I mean, like, he didn't really dig for the Beast Call, which he happened to just draw last turn. But, like, he didn't really
That's true.
dig for it, with the mulligan. So it's like he's keeping the Priest for some
Hedgehog.
reason.
No!
I think he realized his opponent is playing 6 1-drops, and that's why he's keeping it. he'd rather have that option than mulligan it away and have a worse option, I think.
That's fair.
You wouldn't.
Ooh.
Face.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
This is the trait of dreams.
it is.
That Palace Fencer, dude. That's a weird card.
Oh, actually, I think it's Princess Vanguard.
Whatever, same thing. Princess Vanguard, she buffs 1-drops, right? Haven't seen her in forever. Ah, so he could have gone. He could have gone.
Malice will never
The
die.
trade there.
Stop!
Re-attack Hedgehog. Is he not gonna play the Goblin here? Yeah, he's gonna play the Goblin here. Okay.
Okay.
Show you something.
This is yeah, another one of the reasons why, like, Prism Priestess, I just, in Stormhaven lists, as this deck clearly is, I just don't get, like,
You see what I'm seeing? I see Floral Fencer on
yeah.
4.
yeah, easily.
Floral Fencer on 4. Hedgehog
Together.
does 4.
You
I like
done
this.
for.
Oh, yeah. So Floor Fence is going to trade right into
ironclad.
Prism Priestess, and tons of damage will ensue.
Toodaloo.
That's a
He does
big
banish his
hedgehog.
1/1 there. That's what actually lost. It fell off the board, but it's fine. It's just a 1/1.
Well, I mean, he's got a pretty sizable, board here.
He doesn't now, though.
Well, no,
His
not
bird
now.
will pop.
The board's going bye-bye.
Yeah, and then Tea Time as well. So,
Yep.
Tea Time or Cudgel, actually. If he hadn't drawn into Tea Time, Cudgel here was his play, I'm fairly certain. Because, Floral Fencer, it does. If Floral Fencer took 2 damage, it answers it, so.
Now, he has to remember not to trade with the bird first, as to not make the hedgehog stronger.
That hurts.
Well, the bird is going into head. Ooh, the bird didn't go into Hedgehog.
Right. That's what I meant. Like, I have seen situations where people would do it the other way around and then go, "Oh, whoops," and didn't actually.
But no,
realize it was-
if you attack the Hedgehog with the bird, shoot the Floral Fencer, and attack your Tin Soldier on the 2/2, you're at the same board state, but your Tin Soldier has 2 more HP. So.
Well, I agree. So I'm just pointing out that. I've seen
Yeah,
people
for
do
sure.
that.
I see it. I just didn't think he would trade that way.
Oh, it won't be long now.
Might not have been something that registered to him.
Paladins, attack!
Evolves the Knight. I think he's going face for 4 here.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is fine. He's just been going face. This is
I
a
think
this is a
that's
face
planned.
evolve.
Yeah, face is the place.
I mean, you've already committed to the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. That is true. You're not going to kill that tiger with 2 1-drops. That's not a thing. So.
But this Dark Jean is potentially a thing. Oh, no, he's not.
Now.
No. Cudgel into Doggo is really strong this turn.
I see your weakness.
Dark John also, again, would have killed his tiger. It would have put him in that weird position where, like, the Luminous Mage would have lived if you didn't attack it with Tiger, and then your Tiger dies to Dark John if you attack first, so it's like that weird
For those who
situation.
don't know, Priest of the Cudgel has an effect that when it's evolved, it banishes an enemy follower with 3 or less defense. So that means that's why the board was able to be cleared. The Priest of the Cudgel was able to do that and then trade into a follower as well. So it gave it just a little bit more punch. Very good for tempo swings.
Definitely. Kionas' hand is kind of weird here. He goes for the Council of Card Knights evolving the Bane.
Death to the
Ooh,
Ah.
okay.
Well, he does have to get rid of the ward. Like, he has
That
to
is
do
true. Luminous Knight would have done the same thing, but he also gets that 1 poke in this turn as well, so. And again, makes Dark Gen unplayable because these all have 3 defense, so.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to play Dark John into any of this. However, he can play Divine Birdsong Hollow Dogma.
Yep, he can clear the whole board. He loses probably the bird, but to the Bane,
Yeah.
but he can clear the board.
And then he still has 2 play points remaining for the Lux Marina. Alright, right, so
Ooh, he's gonna kill his
just gonna
tiger?
go face.
He's gonna kill his tiger.
Why?
You don't go face. You're at 7 life, he has an evolve left.
Oh no,
Come on.
hey, I don't know. I don't even agree with that line.
I think I would have killed the bird. Otahime!
Right. Oh, there's Otohime.
Jam it! Jam the Otahime!
I mean,
Please.
he doesn't really have that much better.
My sword brings hope.
I guess he thinks
You're done for.
that's a better line.
Turn
can't
the
play.
power of hope to light.
I mean, you can play.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
even if he played the Otohime, right, he would just run. I mean, obviously he doesn't know this, but he would have ran right into her dog.
He doesn't know that, though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't know that. Just
I think Dark Jun actually comes down this turn. Yep, Flash and a Dark Jun.
False idols can't save our world. Take up my shield.
Otahime's not the best on this board, but she's not bad. Oh, come on. He drew a better card.
Well,
Oh,
that's
no!
that's much better.
Otahime. It is much
I
better,
mean-
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's way better.
My
Trade
allies,
into the
my
5/1,
friends. Lovely day
evolve
for
the
a
main,
fight.
take out a Dark Jean.
I actually don't think you evolve here.
You don't want to take out the Dark Jean?
No.
It won't be long now.
Because if you top deck Albert next
To
turn,
the
you just have
fires
lethal.
of the queen.
However, it's unlikely he clears all these 1-attack minions, so he probably just still has lethal anyway, but...
I mean, the
don't
way
know.
that
I just wanna-
Kionas is playing, the way he's playing right now is he just doesn't want to give any window.
Yeah, for sure. I think Kionas' line was safer than what I was suggesting, but I don't think you had to kill Dark Jun there. Hey,
Well,
or
there's-
now.
Wow.
Stop!
I mean, I told you he would draw it next turn.
Well, I mean,
told you,
it's
yeah.
Sword on 9, you know? It's Sword on 9. Like,
No
what do you expect
Otahime.
could happen?
Come on.
And he's doing
Aw,
it. You
Kionas,
can
come
see
on.
on his face. He knew.
Poor Akai. Poor Akai.
Sorry,
Kionas
I
will
mean-
win 2-0. What do you think he was thinking about at the end? I'm really curious. Like, the camera's on. Obviously, I think Praetorian is holding the MVP so far of the season. But I feel like there was some thoughts crossing his mind, like, how can I BM the best way?
Yeah, he definitely was on that train.
I'm still
Sure.
sad that Otohime wasn't played. Oh, it was
Well,
right there.
He didn't really have the opportunity to play
Yeah.
it. I mean, any time that he would have played it, it would have just been bad. So it makes sense to me that he just didn't play it.
Hey, but
you know.
Sword moved on off the back of what Council and
Council of Carnites, definitely.
the top deck on Albert, a good floral fencer as well.
Mhm.
I can't believe Hey, is Swordcraft's class ability on Playpoint 9 gain Albert?
Yes.
Is that what it
Yes.
is? Okay. I thought it was something about officers and commanders, but I think
Nah. It's get Albert.
it's still the kid Albert on 9. That was pretty. I mean, Envy has this uncanny ability to just predict things. So I will never doubt her in any of those scenarios. But Kionas moves on 2-0. Talk to me a little bit about how you felt that Swordcraft deck play out. Obviously, we didn't really get to see the flavor. That was kind of what made it incredibly interesting to us. But where does Swordcraft stand? I know we have a lot of opinions here. I mean, collectively between the three of us, that Swordcraft is quite vanilla in some cases. But what is it that gives its edge against some of these other decks that it might run up against? Obviously, Haven was run twice by Akai and kind of stopped twice. How do you see that Swordcraft factoring into these matchups, Envy, and maybe if something not Havencraft comes along down the road?
Sword's always been a faction that while they've become a little more vanilla over time, they're always proactive. They're always able to put the gas on the pedal, right? To say so. Like, they're gonna keep playing Storm. They're gonna keep playing things that do stuff, right? Like Council, Alwaitas, Albert, all those cards that just end the game if you don't do things. And with Haven cutting Themis and just playing a bunch of amulets, that's exactly what Sword wants. He's just going to run over anything, doing anything like that. So the Sword is probably, like it always has been, just an okay pick, just because of that. They can just curve out and win, so.
Alright, well, obviously Neutral Rune took a good win. How did you feel about this particular Stormhaven deck that Akai wanted to make work here, especially with that Darkjon pick? I mean, we highlighted and looked at so many different scenarios where Darkjon was just in an awkward spot. What do you think is there a world where you would play this deck? Do you think there needed to be something more impactful? How did that Prison Priestess play out in your mind, Aya Senpai, in this match?
Well, this kind of goes back to something I've been saying about Prison Priestess a long time, is that Prison Priestess is just not a good 3-drop. You know, it's 3-drop 2/2, doesn't do anything to, you know, it doesn't impact the board at all. It does give you an amulet, but I mean, do you really want to be, you know, stacking tons of amulets in your hand that you probably won't have a time to play because your opponent is just going to keep wrecking your face with tons of tempo? Like, I just don't think that Prison Priestess is really where you want to be on a 3-drop. Stormhaven already is a very high rolly deck. And I think adding Prison Priestess and giving yourself additional tempo losses and not, you know, or even like, it doesn't even help you when you're going on the play. Like, it doesn't even help you there either. It just feels like a wasted card slot. I mean, I would have replaced it with anything else, like Angel of the Word or Grimnir, at the very least, just for something that, you know, is a proactive move. Angel of the Word at least does 1 damage to something. If it doesn't have anything else to target, it can hit in the face. Prison Priestess, you add an amulet to your hand, you know. So basically, this is add 1 brick. And
sure. Add 1 more,
you know.
Interesting. Well, Prison Priestess seems to be in a tough spot, and Akai happens to lose his first match of the round robin, so he's 0-1, and Kionas will move on to 1-0, joining Praetorian, tied for first place now in the round robin. But let's take a look at the match we have coming up ahead of us. EXG Sheepy versus HSK Akamaru Red. So the 2 decks that we're going to be seeing here is going to be on Sheepy's side, Dragon and Shadow. Haven is banned. It's going to be, that was an Aegis Garuda list that was kind of bring both aspects of Haven that seem to be very popular right now. And then his Dragoncraft deck is going to be Ramp, Dreadsea, and the Shadowcraft deck is going to be Deathly Tyrant and Ector. So somewhat mid-rangey, but with that Deathly Tyrant included. And quickly for Akamaru Red, he has Ramp Dragon with Dreadsea as well, Odile Mid-Shadow, and then Vengeance Blood are his 3 deck choices. What do you guys think about this match? How do you feel like these decks are going to interact with each other? Some different flavors of Shadow. I think the Dragoncraft decks are pretty much the same, though.
Right. I think that the Dragon decks, yeah, they're pretty much the standard Dragon lists that people are playing right now. The Shadow list, though, is a little interesting because of the Deathly Tyrant inclusion, and it does make a lot of sense. There are many games when you're playing Shadow and you just accumulate tons of shadows. You might not draw that Ektar. I mean, I know you're playing Pot of Greed Shadow, yet you don't draw Ektar. It's amazing. But, yeah, you might not draw an Ektar, and you might just generate tons and tons of shadows.
So you really just want that Deathly Tyrant to close it out. How do you feel about that?
Deathly Tyrant... Deathly Tyrant is actually good in the mirror.
Yes, the mirror matches definitely go
really long.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Envy, your thoughts on the match? Akamaru Red, Sheepy, how do you feel about the decks? Who do you think is well slated to take it?
I think anybody playing Tyrant and Shadow is kind of like ahead of where Shadow needs to be right now. With Demon Eater being added to Shadow, you cycle like most of your deck, and you also make a lot of shadows doing that. So I actually think Tyrant sometimes is better than Ector, which I know sounds weird. People complain about Ector being way too good, but I actually think Tyrant is a lot better than people think it is. So, yeah.
I think my headset went a little weird there. What? Did you say Tyrant is better than Ector himself?
Yeah, I said Tyrant is better than Ector. Yeah.
Oh my god. I think my headset is broken. I need to get something to fix it. I keep hearing that there's a card that's better than Ector. I can't. Are you hearing that, Aya?
I'm hearing it. I'm just not listening.
You're just not listening.
Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead, Emmy.
One of them can trade with Bahamut or hit you in the face. Actually, both of them can trade with Bahamut, but there's like a weird Bahamut trade. It's really bad.
It's true. It's true. Hey, there's zombies.
Iron
They
is-
generate shadows. So we're about to jump into this match, Akamaru Red and EXG Sheepy, and talk to me about how you look at this playing out. EXG Sheepy, of course, representing Austria, and Akamaru Red gonna represent Portugal. Talk to me a little. Wind Reader Zell. All right, that's definitely keeping the mulligan, right? Tell me more. Why would you keep Wind Reader Zell, Aya?
Well, I don't know if he's kept this hand. I don't know if you would keep this hand. But Wind Reader Zell, that's a very interesting inclusion. I gotta take a quick look at his list again and see why he would do that. Let's take a look. He runs one Colocositis. That explains it. So
That's cheeky. I like that.
Yeah, that one of 13 burst damage to the face. I dig it.
They're both playing Tyrant. That's what they're doing. I like it.
Okay. Man, this is... Yeah, I don't think you keep any of that
all
hand.
three. Yeah. Although Red's hand is kind of weird. He doesn't really want to soul convert that Skull Beast, probably.
No,
Well,
I don't...
It will just get Blazing Breath.
actually, maybe he does. Like,
Yeah.
maybe he does want to...
He won't get the chance to. It'll die.
Right. Well, he could wait until 2 to play it, if he doesn't draw anything here. He
Ooh.
can just wait until 2.
Okay. You think he has that kind of, like, just think ahead? Like, he's got
Foresight?
Blazing Breath
Hey, I
for
don't
sure.
know what he has. It's like,
Let me just not play this one drop on one.
Hey, he might be a genius.
That might be his play. I think you like save it for 2 and then soul convert it.
Oh, he
Nope,
didn't
just
do
kidding.
it.
Just kidding.
He didn't do it. Well, it's definitely not staying there now.
No. You have a disposable Blazing Breath. I'm pretty sure Sheepy goes for the kill here.
100%.
I think he's deciding if it's worth it or not.
Well, I guess you would have to consider whether or not you want to give your opponent a Demon Eater / Soul Conversion.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
like, yeah, you're giving them shadows, but do you really want to be giving them the opportunity to draw cards?
Right. If you're not banishing, they're gonna get the shadows anyway, so... Yeah. He goes for the kill there.
Yeah,
This
that's
could actually just... Red just bricks.
man, that's not good. That's not good. He literally has no plays here.
Yep, but he is going to take a second to think, because he thought about his turn 1 play. Sheepy knows that he floated Skull Beast for a good, I don't know, 10-15 seconds. So if he floats turn 2 and plays nothing, Sheepy doesn't know he didn't have 2 drops. So, I like that.
Well, I mean,
You don't
is there a
snap
valid
pass.
reason not to play a 2-drop if you have it?
It depends. If it was a Demon Eater, it does depend.
Well, yeah, okay. Demon Eater would probably be the only consideration.
Also, that snap
Okay,
pass just gives too much information, so...
Right. All right, so
We see Sheepy doing the same thing.
this is
neither can play
the Sheepy
anything.
special, man.
Yeah. This is literally... This is just mind games, but I mean, I like that Sheepy does it.
Yeah, it's like I don't have anything, but I want you to think I do.
Exactly, yes.
Well,
We
he
saw like the
did
light
draw
change on
two
Sheepy's mind. I think he alt-tabbed. He was like, okay, I know I'm not doing anything. I'm just gonna alt-tab real quick.
Well, he did. Akamaru did draw the Lurching Corpse, but I don't think he's gonna play it here.
I don't like this either.
Yeah, I don't think he plays it here. I think he just. At least he'll have a soul conversion target though. So like,
He
let's say
would.
that Sybil comes down.
Yeah, Sheepy's not
Yeah.
ramping though, so the only 4-drop you expect is like, you know, like you expect Ayala probably. If you're
Well,
playing nothing
I
in
guess-
the of all.
I guess technically IL is a 4-drop. Considering
Yeah,
you
I mean,
usually play
you know,
the-
he got 4 mana.
someone-
And he just he passes, yeah.
Hey,
Hey, there
there's
we
the IL.
go! God. I'm
Stop
scary
calling
sometimes.
cards.
I'm scary sometimes, I really am. But the thing
Stop
about
calling
Lurching
cards.
Corpse on this is that it will ramp him, so, because it does kill the Ayala.
Well, I don't think you want to play Allergic Corpse on this.
Yeah, true.
But it is him taking additional damage. Like, do you really care about the damage? I mean, you do as Shadow because you don't have any healing, right?
Lurching
Unless
Corpse
you're
Demon Eater
dead
is not the
code.
worst thing here, but if you also fill your hand to, if you fill your hand to 8, you draw to 9 next turn and you can't play Cerberus. So that's also kind of weird.
I mean, what he could do, if he really wanted, is just play the Demon Eater and then Soul Conversion it.
Man, do you want to do that, though?
I mean, probably not, but it is a play that
No, he's going to!
it does
Deny
allow
the
him
ramp at all costs. He's gonna evolve first? He's gonna actually
Let's talk. More
give him
eating.
the mana. Okay, he's gonna give him the mana.
I've got to take a
Well,
break.
actually,
and
if you
Soul
think about it,
Convert.
if you think about it, it's not necessarily terrible that he gives him the ramp, because he does have removal in hand. So
It's true. He just didn't
It's
Soul
not
Convert.
necessarily the worst. I don't know if you really want to be, helping your opponent beat you, but man,
The
Sybil
non-soul
into a
conversion there is kind of weird.
Yeah, I think that that would have been a prime time to soul conversion. I think.
Yeah.
But at
I mean, you
least
probably expect
she-
a Sybil to come down, right?
Mm.
I guess putting damage onto Sybil is more worth it.
I guess. But what's
Cerberus
going to
can
happen
turn
that
into
we
it?
can see? Well, what we can see
Yeah.
is he's going to play the Sybil into the Blazing Breath.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
He's just taking his sweet time doing it.
With water.
Look, Sheepy is a very complex individual. He's thinking a lot, okay?
Hey,
He just ended his
he
turn.
didn't
Wow.
do that at
okay.
all. Okay.
That's gonna be a Serb jam if I've ever seen one.
Well, there's no reason not to play Serb.
Yeah. You don't fill your hand completely, so you still draw. You get 3 face. Kill Sybil.
Man, these guys are.
Go a little wild.
I kind of explained why slow play is done, so I don't know. I think Red's just double checking that he really wants to play that Cerberus.
I haven't let loose lately.
Well, I mean, I think that's fine.
Almost
Like,
come to an end.
sometimes, even if your play is obvious, you still want to take time to think, okay, what could he have?
Yeah, for sure.
You don't want to just be like, okay, I'm going to autopilot, and then, I mean, you can't even really do that with aggro decks in some cases. You just
Oh yeah, definitely.
really have to consider it. I mean, if you're Sheepy here, do you just conflag, or do you just hold the conflag and then just use Tina for removal, which you could certainly do,
I
because Tina
think
clips
that
both of these.
Conflag is a bit too good to just use on 2 followers. He's not gonna Tina either, though.
I think that's fine. Well, he can at least Blazing Breath.
Yeah, but he still has the Blazing Breath, so. Drawing in a Dragon Oracle was pretty good for him there. I'm not sure what his plan on 3 was. 3 play points, he would have floated 2 if Blazing Breath was still used there, so.
He's
If he
on
hadn't drawn a lot.
6. I mean, what do you do? Like, he's stuck with so many 7s in hand. He's got what? He's got 2 Thanes and an Ektar. So, I mean, what do you do? Do you play
I think the
Death
play here
Breath?
is just jam the Death's Breath. I think you just play Death's Breath here.
Oh boy, is he going to be sad next turn?
Yep. I mean, he will be. It's 10 mana against. It's 10 play points against Ramp Dragon, like Bahamut's Conflagration, Israfel even, and then also Breath of Salamander. A lot of cards at 10 play points can kill your board here, but you can't draw cards. You gotta fill for Eekter, right? Like you can't just not do it.
There's no way he doesn't evil and clear this board. Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. That's the point.
Play a song of sorrow.
He
There's
is
no
gonna
way
eat
that
Soul
does-
Squasher if it gets drawn, though. If it doesn't, ooh.
Well, that's not a Soul Squasher.
It's gonna have to be Lurching Corpse Soul Conversion, which actually makes him play the Skull Beast out first.
Yes. But at the very least, he does still have that answer in hand to deal with this Israfil.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he can't fill the 9. Yeah, Skull Beast coming out first.
Alright.
Skeleton Fighter's
Skeleton
not
Fighter.
bad here.
Nope. It's not.
Could also pre-Soul Convert the Skull Beast if you think a board wipe. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Uriel, that would nab him Polyphonic Roar?
Yeah, that would, which would put a pretty good amount of pressure on Red.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's good here, right? Is just Uriel?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of quote unquote immune to Lurching Corpse, Necro Assassin, all those cards that just kill minions, whereas stuff like Zeus or Grimner or whatever would just die to those things. So
Right. So yeah, I think Uriel.
plus you have Blazing
he
Breath
could-
on the 2/2. So
Mhm. He's gonna take. You can see it on his face. He's thinking hard.
yeah, Sheepy's thinking about it, but that's gonna be his lion. He's gonna play the Polyphonic next time. He may save Blazing Breath
Tina,
to play next to Polyphonic. Yep.
if my brother can, I can.
Very.
Well, assuming any
Obviously,
kind of zombie touches the board, like if Eekter comes down here, then you have Blazing Breath for one of the zombies, which could be good.
That's true. He is also running Olivia.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, he could just be like, well, if I draw Olivia, there's my evil points.
True.
Oh,
Polyphonic
man, this
Roar,
is-
however, is really similar. It's similar to Seraph in the sense that it will eventually win you the game, but it's very unsafe to just use all of your mana on.
Right.
So, Eekter's gonna come down here, and if he just jams Polyphonic Roar, he could just get hit for a lot. So,
I'm sorry.
He could get hit for dead.
God.
Yeah, so...
yeah, for dead.
Uh,
Wow, Soul Conversion aggressively.
I don't think there's anything
Finds
wrong
a
with it. I
Phantom
mean,
Howl. That's important.
that is very important.
That's a lot of reach, yeah.
Oh, man. And not to mention that Red is sitting on an unbelievable amount of value in hand.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what Shadow
Yes.
does. They cycle continuously and just find value cards. So
I mean, he's got Thanes. He's got 2 of them. He's got Ektar. He's got Phantom Howl. He's got Death's Breath. He's got that Zombie Party over there. So he's got a
Zombie
lot of gas.
So Sheepy has that play I was saying. He has Polyphonic Roar into Blazing Breath onto the zombie. So he, Red did exactly what I said he might. But if Sheepy goes for that, does he just get punished really hard? He does have Conflagration to kind of
Yes.
come back.
But how much damage is he willing to take?
He's going for it. I don't think he's actually going to take that much. Unless Red sees this and goes for, like, Thane instead of Death's Breath.
Well, Thane would still get blown out by the Conflag. Oh, wait, no, it wouldn't. The Thane itself
Neither
wouldn't. The
Thane
white
nor Eekter's main body would die to Conflag.
would die to that, yeah. So,
But if you just jam Death's Breath, then that all dies, and the dragon can take care of the Eekter. Is that a Skull Cradle Widow? That's a Skull Cradle Widow.
that is a Skull Crater Widow. Oh, man. This is
Thane
generally
Widow
how
Jam?
Dragon... Huh?
I think the Thane Widow Jam is good here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But this is generally how Dragon versus Shadow, plays out. Very
Right.
slow, very methodical. We've often made mention that Dragon used to have a much better matchup against Shadow, but since Ouroboros was hit, that matchup is kind of shifted into Shadow's favor.
Right. Ouroboros was a huge deal. I've actually played this matchup. I played this matchup on ladder a lot yesterday, even on the Shadow side of things. And you can just grind them out now. Like, it's completely reversed. Where Dragon used to be able to grind Shadow out, it's backwards now. Shadow can just grind Dragon out of the game, which sounds weird, but you definitely can do it.
Oh, Sheepy looked like he's praying over there.
I don't know. I mean, when you leave an Ink Jar on the board for Shadow, I think you're just doing the please don't kill me dance.
Yeah. Well, he got... Oh, man. So...
I think Grimnir's actually better.
Yeah, Grimnir's much better.
Grimnir's better, because you don't keep your dragon, but...
My Tempest shall judge you!
He doesn't have to take extra damage from fights.
Right. Shielding himself from that Phantom Howl is going to be important. Ooh.
Man.
Actually, a great draw for
you could
Red.
just zombie party here.
Yeah, you actually can just zombie party here.
You know, and then go face for 4? Oh, unless
Go
you want
face
to
for
Evo it.
6.
Or play
does he have
Ektar.
lethal?
That works.
He doesn't have lethal, no.
No.
He got rid of his Coco Mimi last turn, so he actually can't push that this turn. But if it goes face for 8, go face for 8, and then Phantom Howl is just like... Okay, also 5. That works too.
Well, the Lurching Corpse is a very, very good play here because it plays against Bahamut.
Yeah. For sure. Grimnir.
I mean, you go face... Oh, wait, no, you trade into the Ektar and then you just Grimnir, right?
Right,
oh,
but...
wait, he would still be dead to Phantom Howl, but...
It's Corpse, yeah. Corpse kills it, so...
Yeah, he would still be dead to Phantom Howl.
Technically, the better play is the Comp Flag Grimnir.
Be the Comp Flag and then Grimnir.
Yep.
Okay.
This way you don't die to Phantom Howl. He didn't Grimnir! Sheepy!
No! Ooh, he's gonna be very upset right now.
Sheepy!
Oh, is that a smile on his face?
I think he laughed a little bit.
You're a solid
I think he was like, yeah, of course, Phantom Howl.
Oh, man. And Akamaru Red showing why Shadow is so good against Dragon right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, rather, why Shadow is so good.
Yeah, just a good period, really.
Right. Man.
Poor Sheepy. He had the Comp Flag, had to play the Grimnir, but went for the value. Well, not really even value. Isla's not even that value.
No, because, I mean, where's he going to get 11 play points?
Yeah. If you could. Oh, boy.
So, alright. Game 2 here, and... Okay, he decided to switch.
Mother, father, come on!
He did, yep.
Prepare for defeat.
Sheepy hopped on to Shadow.
Well, Shadow can do well versus Vengeance Blood, provided the draw as well, and Vengeance Blood doesn't get, you know, the bonkers start, which of course it hasn't. And
Got rid of
that
Urius.
Yeah, I don't know
It's
about
Shadow.
getting rid of the Urius. However, I will say this, that in my experience, that Urius tends not to be as effective when you're on the draw as if you're on the play. So
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
That could be a reason. But I think I still would have kept it in this matchup.
I think against Shadow you keep it. They're spawning a lot of skeletons everywhere. And... Wow, 3 air jammers, Jesus.
That is a horrible hand.
It really is, yeah.
That's not just bad. That's horrible. Okay.
Red is
That's
not
a
only on
terrible
the draw,
hand.
but also got a horrible hand.
Well, Akamaru Red's got to be jamming his head against the desk right now with this hand.
Dark air jamming his head against the desk. Ay.
Ah, you're funny.
Got him. He's gonna play the Spiderweb Imp. Go to 18.
Hey, Sheepy's rocking this chair.
For my food.
Yeah, Sheepy. Well, he's against blood. He knows. Any second now,
Yeah.
the game could just blow up. It could just explode.
However, if Akamaru Red draws any Vengeance Activator, Vengeance
Yeah.
Activator, like, his hand goes from, what is that, to, oh my goodness, you know?
Yeah, he could just jam those air jammers back to back
Oh,
to
boy.
back,
Back to clever.
and then and then Sheepy would be in trouble for sure.
Yeah,
But Red has no play this turn.
0 plays.
I think he just hit the Bone Chimera,
I don't know about that.
or do you hit face? Ooh,
Because
Finally a friend.
yeah. Oh, this is fine, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with him trading there, but I guess
I mean, realistically, what else were you gonna do, right?
that's also true. He's
Squasher.
basically banking on drawing Belphegor right now, and that
Another
is not a Belphegor.
Emeralda. Wow.
That's everything but a Belphegor.
World is mine.
Just jams the Dark General for free right here. Just goes in. It's never gonna go face.
Yeah, this Akamaru Red is in a lot of trouble right now.
I actually think that he's fine now.
I don't know. Like, when you're not
Because Air
getting
Jammers
full
still
value
summon stuff.
Air Jammers, and
Yeah,
your
Air
opponent's
Jammers still
sitting on a
summon
full
stuff.
board. Yeah, but he's gonna have to get some pretty marquee. Oh my goodness! Don't you hate
Someone
that?
finally drew a Belphegor.
Yeah, someone drew Belphegor, but it's the turn after he wanted it.
I mean, you can Belphegor Diabolic Drain this turn. That's fine.
I
You
want
can,
it.
yeah.
It's like
And now his hand is not quite as bad as it was.
Witness the power.
Next
Might not
you
drain.
gotta start jamming air
Shall I
generators.
grant your
Yeah. Okay. Go for the drink.
See, this is the scary thing about being a Vengeance Blood player. When you're playing Vengeance Blood, you're always when you're fighting Shadow, you have to be afraid of Phantom Howl.
That is true. But Sheepy's hand is really bad for this. Gotta evolve a fighter.
He's gonna get in 3 damage right now. Put him at 9, and
Do you do that though? Don't you put him at 11?
oh yeah, you would put him at 11. You wouldn't put him at Vengeance, right?
You don't want. I don't
Even
think. I mean,
Sylvado.
we know those 3 air jammers are gonna go to town.
That's true.
If he's in vengeance.
Not only that, but this is a really tough consideration for him. Does he forsake that, or does he just go in? And not only that, but he can't. Akamaru Red cannot play like Blood Wolf into Air Jammer because he's only going to be on 6 play points. So that's a consideration too. Oh, he's putting him at 11.
I think you just keep him at 11. You do have Phantom
Yeah.
Howl though. I don't know. No evolves and no Cerberus.
I think if you're Sheepy, you have to consider Air Jammer.
No,
he's not.
Sheepy!
He's not. He's not
It's gonna
doing
pull
it.
2
He's like,
Spiderweb Imps, and it's gonna pull the game away.
he said, "I'm not respecting your vengeance." This could turn out really bad.
Yes, this can flip very, very fast.
Not respecting vengeance.
1 Spiderweb Imp.
Well, I don't think he wanted an Ambling Wraith, but yeah. I like how Sheepy is sitting back in his chair, like, oh man.
Suck you dry.
I mean, Sheepy knew that was coming. He knew it was gonna happen.
Right.
And actually,
This isn't
evolving the
necessarily
ward there,
bad.
Red gave the Lurching Corpse a way to die
Yeah.
when it didn't have one.
It's not the worst. It's not the best, sure, but not the worst.
Might regret that. Well, okay, never mind. There's already a way for it to die. But eek, they're coming down.
Or not, too.
Both zombies go into the ward and you go 6 face, right?
Yeah. And then set up for your Phantom Howl lethal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's reward.
Okay.
Will he have the aware? Well, actually, I guess he has to
He's
kill
at 3 life. I think. I think you drew a ward.
like,
You play a ward.
He's at. Yeah, he's at 3 life, but I don't think he's gonna win this game. Like, I don't. There's
also
really
only one Spiderweb imp left, so Dark Airjammer is actually kind of risky.
And since we know he's running Ambling Wraiths, his chance of getting the Spiderweb imp is really low.
Yeah. He could clear the board with Emeralda and also get some phase damage.
And then die to Phantom Howl.
Yeah, you've got to think about Phantom Howl, yeah. But without Emeralda, how do you kill Ether? Ether's also a problem.
I mean, I guess you Emeralda, but that's the only other way. Like, you have to Emeralda. You can't play Emeralda in a ward because it only has 7 play points.
Yeah. Airjammer. And you can get the ward.
Not what you wanted.
You got 2 Ambling Wraiths off Airjammers. That's gotta feel bad. Yeah, he's dead on board almost.
Yeah, he's rolling snake eyes every time on these Airjammers.
He is, yeah, he's rolling 1 drops. I think Sheepy expects Diabolic Drain to happen, but we know there's not a single one, so... Wow, it even got the Airjammer that could attack still.
I see.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's okay, game.
Oh my gosh.
Sheepy's like pure skills.
I think Emeralda, even the 3-mana 2/2 ward were better than the jammer there. Like I said, his odds were very low of pulling that last imp.
Now we're going into the last game of this set.
Mm-hmm. Sheepy's Dragon versus Red's Blood again. Right, that's what he just played. I couldn't think of what he just played.
This one's for my family.
Okay.
Prepare
and Sheepy
for
going
defeat.
first again. But that's not necessarily good.
I think it's great.
You know, like, well, I mean, for Akamaru Red,
Blood does for sure.
On the draw.
Yeah, if you're Sheepy, you don't want him going first.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Ooh, but he did draw a 10 drop and a 9 drop. That's not very good at all.
He's got a Belphegor for 4.
And a 9 drop. He's got everything.
Oh yeah, he's set up for the late game.
Getting rid of Blazing Breath is also interesting. It's your only way of killing this wolf. And you know Wolf is going to be played on too. A 10 drop!
Oh my goodness.
He's got everything.
Keep relying on you to
Oh, he is set up for turn, whatever. Because... Yeah.
Well, it's like turn 7 for him, but he might not get there.
No. He's in a lot of trouble. He has to trade his Ayala into the Blood Wolf and play the Grimnir, take 1 from the Urias.
Actually, do you save Grimnir to evolve it next turn?
Well, I guess you could. I mean...
I think you...
But then... I guess... But you're sitting on 3 Evo points, and the likelihood is, if your opponent, which, I mean... how I would see it is, if my opponent's going to play Belphegor next turn, and they're going to Evo the Urias... I want... If they Evo the Urias, I'm taking a... Taking a 3, and then whatever I take from playing anything else.
It's like gold to me.
True.
At least this forces him to have to Evo into the Grimnir if he plays Belphegor.
Yeah, it does make him pretty dependent on this draw, though.
Shall I grant
Better...
Yep.
No.
Another Grimnir.
Oh, he got a Grimnir. He's going to take
Same
one
thing.
from the Urias. But he will be able to Evo into the Belphegor.
Yeah, at least, yep.
But then this is where
Power is uncontrollable.
Vengeance Blood shines.
Give it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Dark Air Jammer is, I mean, he could just go straight up. You know, I don't even care. I'm just gonna hit you in the face with these Dark Generals instead of the Air
You can
Jammer.
just evolve that Dark General twice.
Yeah, yeah. This is exactly why I was saying that going second. More Snake Eyes, man.
Red's luck with these Dark Air Jammers is just ugh.
Astronomically bad. But
Oh
you know
no!
what? No, that's not what you want. That's not. No.
That's game.
He needed a.
Can't do
that's game.
anything.
He would play the Ayala, evolve it into the Air Jammer, but then he dies to the Dark General sitting in Akamaru Red's hand.
But Urias trigger matters too, because that's the extra.
Yeah, that matters too. So he's definitely dead. He's just,
Oh, actually, it's just 11. Yeah, because he still has an evolve point left. So it's 12 damage total.
And Sheepy bows his head, kind of like, oh
No,
man, what a terrible hand.
He knows.
Yeah, he knows he's dead. His opponent finally rolled sevens.
Keep relying on you,
Man.
Dragon.
It feels bad for Sheepy too, because if he lived one more turn, that is for Phil would have done work.
We've got each other.
Yeah. Real. Unfortunately, though, he knows he's dead. He knows
Yeah,
it.
he knows it. And then just the lethal, without the
You're
evolution.
a solid fighter.
Yeah. Well, at least he didn't extend it. You know. So, props to Akamaru Red for not BMing his opponent and just killing him.
So EXG Sheepy happens to get defeated here 2-1 to Akamaru Red, and I would say that's probably our closest series. Two very, very slow players, of course.
Yeah.
But we've seen now a situation where Ramp Dragon has been pretty useful in constructing buildings here. You know, bringing a lot. And we've seen a situation where Blood earlier on in the tournament did the same in many ways. Which of the two do you think is more consistent? Is that the rarity, or is it just we happen to be seeing a lot of bad hands today in the Shadowverse Open? How do you feel about these two decks and their consistency, Envy? And is this something that should just be expected with these decks, or is there a more consistent deck that you would recommend tournament players pursue?
Well, Ramp Dragon is Ramp Dragon's always kind of been like, if I get my ramp, I'm gonna win probably, and if I don't get my ramp, I'm gonna hopefully draw my heals to get my ramp later, or just, you know, naturally climb, which is what they don't want to do. And Vengeance Blood, I feel there's always been like a sort of divide in the community for Vengeance Blood players. There's people who play Soul Dealer and people who don't play Soul Dealer, because the people who don't are like, oh, that card sucks, I don't need it, I have tons of ways to activate Vengeance. The other ones are like, no, I brick too often, I want those more Vengeance activators. The deck can brick too much, so they play one or two like Soul Dealers or whatever. So I think both decks probably have around the same chance of just not doing anything, which we've seen a lot of today. I think today we're just getting unlucky, but they both definitely can brick pretty hard, yeah.
Well, certainly we saw Sheepy feeling pretty defeated at the end there, and of course, again, it's only the first day of the round robin, so there's still many more matches to go for these players. They are in groups of 6, so Group A and Group B. We're seeing a bunch of matches from both sides, but that does mean that Akamaru Red earns 1 win under his belt, and we are actually going to see him play one more time here. Akamaru Red is going to play against Kionas, who I believe has also played one already today, and he featured the Swordcraft deck and piloted that deck to victory. And what's interesting to me is for both of these opponents, Kionas has actually 2 different decks that he's submitted. And in fact, not only is he not running Sword, but his Rune deck against his previous opponent was Burn, Dirt, Rune, Dirt, Burn. And now he's running D-Shift, actually. So he's actually really kind of thought about what his deck submission would be and kind of really identified what he feels his opponents are playing to. We just saw a whole game with Akamaru Red. What do you think are the benefits of him now running Odile mid-shadow, which got banned out, so he's not going to be able to play that. Blood Vengeance that we just saw, and then D-Shift Rune up against Ramp Dread and Vengeance Blood that we saw Akamaru Red field. So Akamaru is running the same decks. How do we think D-Shift is going to fare? How do we think Vengeance Blood is going to fare? Senpai, what are you thinking?
Well, D-Shift is very good against Dragon. So the fact that Dragon left D-Shift open, I find interesting, and I'd like to know why. But otherwise, like the Blood versus Blood again is good against Dragon. So especially with the right draws. So this should play out pretty interestingly. The thing I'm most interested in is why Akamaru would allow D-Shift to go through. That I find incredibly interesting, especially when his dragon is allowed and Shadow is banned. So,
all right. Well, we are about to jump into Akamaru Red versus Kionas. Before we do so, I'd just like to remind you that in the Twitch panels, there's lots of cool clickies that you can find there. You can download the game. You can also follow the channel and get notified whenever we go live, and we would very much appreciate it. I think the shoe deal is off the hook now, so it might be something else, but we'll see what it is, what I'll have to consume if we reach X amount of followers, but definitely give that a check. We're hopping into Akamaru Red against Kionas, a repeat of certain competitors that we've seen today, and we'll get to know what their record is going to be like for their second match. So Kionas and Akamaru Red are both 1-0. Let's see who's going to go 2-0 and who's going to be 1-1. So, talk to me a little bit about what you think Kionas is going to field first up against Akamaru Red. Do you think you're leading off bat with D-Shift, or do you want Vengeance Blood to be out of the way first?
I think I would probably lead with D-Shift. Get that out of the way so that you have essentially two chances to win with the Blood deck if you win with the D-Shift. So yeah, I definitely think that D-Shift is the right call, and that's obviously what he picked. He opted to go with that first, and he's running Rite of Exorcism, so he's packing with some removal.
I think I actually like Rite of Exorcism quite a bit. It's a pretty cool card.
Oh yeah, it can do a lot of work in early game for sure, because it can take out something that's 3 or less, or it can enhance to just take out any follower for 5 play points. And I'm not entirely sure you want to be doing that on 5, but you never know.
Doing it on 3 is not bad. Sometimes, on 5, sometimes you have to, but
right. Well, Disagreeable
and it's
Demon,
terrible though.
Disagreeable Demon, I have learned, is really good against D-Shift.
Yeah, they don't play
minions,
so there's a 4-3, yep.
Yeah, really good. That Urius is going to come down. It's not dying yet, so there's nothing to kill it. And you got another Rite of Exorcism. It is getting bounced. And the thing is that Rite of Exorcism can actually take out this Disagreeable Demon.
Yep, which is good, which is great. So,
Kaleidoscopic Glow being one of the more frustrating cards Rune has access to. Completely ruining your tempo.
I mean, they didn't play a minion, so it's fine, right?
It's fair.
I'm not doing this for you.
3 mana, 4/3, pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty good. It's not good when it dies, but it's certainly good.
Wish I tried harder.
I wonder if the
Kionas
reason
is
that
unfortunately not getting Dimensional Shift in his hand.
I wonder if the reason he opted to play Rite of Exorcism was actually for this specific matchup. Like,
it's possible.
That would be very intriguing.
It'd be pretty meta.
Yeah, it would.
What do you even do against this? Like, you BKB nothing, you just take 2 for no reason?
I think you have to present something they have to answer.
Yeah, I think you do.
Have to do that.
Because, like, your deck only wins through face damage, like, from minions, so...
Right. Although, yeah, this could be a really tough decision. for sure. Whether or not you just want to take 2 face damage for no reason, but I mean, he has really no other ways of getting himself to vengeance currently, and I don't think he cares that much about his life total. Though, unfortunately, Kionas does have Angelic typing to Wind Blast, which will take out the Big Knuckle Bodyguard. So, I mean, of course, Akamaru doesn't know that, but
Let us battle.
Angelic Knight.
What target could he be looking for as far as
My name's Lou. It's short for.
I think he's probably trying to bait a removal. A third Fate's Hand. That's so unfortunate in this hand.
Yeah, he has tons of Fate's Hands, no dimensional shifts.
Yeah.
I'll do what I can.
I guess those are better than Sword Caches. You don't want to draw those with no Fate's Hand, or with no dimensional shifts.
Alright, so
It's a
it
very
looks
slow game.
Yeah, I don't really, but you know, considering that Akamaru Red again did not get the full-on heavy-hitting start that he needed, especially with him going first, D-Shift is in a really good position to win this game if he manages to draw a D-Shift, of course.
True, yeah, if he manages to actually get it.
Well, he does have 3 Fates hand in hand, and 2 of which are animated. That man is balling. So, I mean, he's got to do something here. Akamaru Red, he's got to do something.
I mean, Scarlet Savoir, probably?
Maybe. I mean, it could
Is
go
that what you do?
face.
Like,
I mean, honestly, he just...
This is my home.
Oh, I thought it was going to be another Ambling Raid.
I expected it to, yeah. This
It's
one better
like-
Wind Blast.
I'm going home.
He's got an Ambling Raid. This time he actually gets something a little bit more valuable. But this board can...
Another
Yeah, he is
Destroyer. Ooh.
He is not getting those D shits.
He's 12 deep with no D shifts. He's gonna Fate's Hand for 1, finds 1 finally, and actually gets Levi with an Evolve left.
I'm just a mage
So,
who's as old as
This is
dirt.
exactly what we want.
It won't be long
That
now.
Fate's Hand was probably the single best Fate's Hand he could have hoped for. He's gonna play Levi for 2 play points, Crimson Sorcery, onto the Dark Air Jammer. That lined up so perfectly for him. Oh my gosh.
You got Kionas with the head tilt. Like, yeah, done.
Easy.
Easy.
So the 0 mana, 0 play points Fate's Hand already. He gets a Sword Catch too, which is pretty good. He would have drawn that anyway though. I think.
Yeah, Swordcraft and
Spectator
Magic.
Client. I'm not sure which one will come first.
I'm all
On the
tired.
Spectator Client, but BKB. Big Knuckle Bodyguard coming down, killing Levi.
Yeah, Akamaru is not in a good position right now.
He's not. No,
Kiona's
he's not really doing
He
anything.
he has all the stuff that he needs in hand, and all it just requires now is for Kionas to slowly and systematically keep this board clean and just prepare to win off of the D shift. He's got 3 Flame Destroyers in hand, so
Ooh.
and another Magic Missile. Wow.
He can cycle pretty hard next turn. Red is, like, Akamaru is playing, like, a really proactive deck against the reactionary one, but he's not drawing the cards to be proactive enough to make this work. 0 mana Fates, 0 play point Fates Hand again. 2 Golem Assault.
Yeah.
We haven't seen
Golem
any
Assault.
Earthright cards.
No, I don't think he even runs them.
Quench them.
I'm powerless.
Which is
I'd
a
have to
little
look.
bit odd.
Weakness the power.
It is a little odd, but I mean, it is 2 spells on its own.
No.
True, it does make 2 spells. Well, yeah, counts as 2 spells. He's gonna mill a card here, actually. We didn't
Well, he
see
has
it.
everything in hand he needs.
That is true. Yeah, that is true.
Well, he does have the right, which can kill the evolved Urias if he reduces the cost a little bit. So
The thing is, though, he has 2 enhanced cards that he wants to play together. He can't do that.
Yeah.
Because Golem Assault is a 6-man enhance. If he was able to play Golem Assault for 2, play the Conjure Golem for 2, and then play the Right for 3, that would be 7 total, but he can't do that. So he actually just has to donate one of his Flame Destroyers to the Bane here.
Well, not only is that an issue, but like even if you played the enhanced version of the Golem Assault, you would mill 2 of them. And I don't think he really wants to do that.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. I mean, you can't enhance Golem Assault there at all. Because if you had an Earthright on the board, the Golem Assault that went into your hand would cost 1 play point. But because you don't, they come into your hand as 2 and stay at 2. Insight's really good here.
That was a really good insight. So, okay, another magic missile and a kaleidoscopic glow.
Kaleidoscopic Glow into Insight would boost his combo pretty significantly.
Yeah. Insight first, draws a Merlin, and bounce it goes. So, now, we're faced with... Oh, man. Akamaru is in a lot of trouble right now.
He is.
In a lot
There's
of trouble.
also, Kionas has only got 1 dimensional shift and no evolves, so he has to draw 1 more damage through Angelic Snipe or Magic Missile, which is not hard for his deck, because he plays 3 of each of those. But the 2 Destroyers can only attack for 14, which is 1 too short.
Well, he might not have to do any of that. If Akamaru Red gets, just a little too greedy and plays his Razor Claw, he's basically doing Kionas' job for
Oh
him.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, actually, you're right. If Akamaru doesn't heal anything and just does damage to himself, he does have Diabolic Drain and Sabor in here. Yeah, I felt like Sabor would come down there, so that puts Kionas even further out of reach.
For now.
Right. And because he had to get rid of one of his Flame Destroyers. Yeah, winning is a little bit more difficult, but not
also
not
completely out of
unattainable.
evolves. So this is tough.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
It's the fully enhanced right of
okay, I was about to say that.
Golem Assault, but it's not reduced. It still costs 2 play points because he has no Earthrights and he has to pass floating a mana, floating a play point.
What's
Oh,
his
no.
D shift at?
His D shift is pretty low. It's at 6 ish.
Uh-oh. He actually, if he's not going to win this turn, he just lost.
Yeah, D shift just kills him now.
Yep. Why Kionas
Because you
isn't
can
doing
actually use the Conjure Golem here, and he even got Angelic Snipe. Conjure Golem was a net gain of one play point because you're going to play all 3 of these spell boosted cards. But the Angelic Snipe was a net gain of 2, which means he just net gains all the mana here.
Yep.
What a cruel end.
Why Kionas is not doing backflips right now? Beyond me.
I see.
Doing backflips. Oh no, he just surrenders. He doesn't even bother with it.
Well, I wouldn't want to sit there and watch me get destroyed by Flame Destroyers either.
Right. You know what's gonna happen, so I guess you can surrender, but the people at home may not have known why he surrendered. Basically, Dimensional Shift, that little door thing, meant that Kionas was gonna take an extra turn after that. So those 2 Destroyers basically had Storm. They just go in and attack, and swipey swipe for 14.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Swipey swipe for 14.
They make little claw marks when they attack.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, you don't really want to watch them do that to you.
No. Some people will do, sometimes one dimensional shift's not enough, and you have to watch them do it again, but to make sure they have it.
Well, that's always fun.
This
Yeah.
one's for my family.
Prepare for defeat.
Alright, so we got Vengeance Blood versus Dragon, and Kionas, if he could get some kind of Belphegor action going, nope, okay.
if anybody really could get Belphegor action going. He had it last game, kind of late, so...
Well,
I think I remember when Vengeance Blood was first being, played around with, Dragon was really popular. Ramp Dragon was really popular back then, and I think I remember Vengeance Blood having a good matchup against this.
Oh, yeah, very good matchup.
Yeah.
Also, just to point out, one of the biggest advantages, or rather, that maybe not advantage, but one of the biggest boons that the Vengeance Blood has is that it has access to Scarlet Sabrewer, and Scarlet Sabrewer is actually quite good against Dragon. That Bane, you know, can take out, you know, Bahamut's and et cetera, but let's go ahead and get into this. That's a crazy.
There's also the loss of Ouroboros, which the healing was pretty big. That's a Crazy Executioner. 3 mana, 3/3. That does damage to you when you play it.
He's like, I don't care if I take damage, I'm Vengeance Blood.
Yeah. Apparently.
I think he's just gonna play
such a fair minion wouldn't do that. Like, it's a 3 mana, 3/3. You're playing it just to do damage to yourself, because there's no other... It's not like Belphegor, you don't draw cards, so...
Right.
It's a very interesting card.
Dragon Summoner, its fanfare is whenever it's played, you get to get one random Dragoncraft follower from your deck into your hand. I believe Akamaru's deck is running 3 of it, which is a little unorthodox. I do see people running, you know, just 2 of them just so they don't draw into themselves. But maybe that's what he wants.
He's gonna go for double Breath of the Salamander on playing points here. He's gonna make sure nothing comes through on Kionas' side. He's not playing games.
I definitely think this is an instant BKB, no Evo pass.
Yeah, Big Knuckle Bodyguard puts you at 14, kills the minion for free. Savior evolves, develop a 3/4. All of that sounds great. It'll get slapped by a Sybil on the 5 play point return, but you know.
Yeah, but at least he didn't lose an Evo
par for
point.
course in the matchup.
Well, this matchup again is this is yet another one of those situations where in this matchup, you really, really want that Belphegor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you always want Belphegor. Like.
Well, you don't always want it. You don't want it against aggro sword, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, 3 Belphegors against aggro sword. He goes for an evolve. That's still gonna get slapped by Sybil, except now you're down an evolve. So.
Yeah, I do not agree with this at all.
Bluest water.
Quickest Sybil. Bluest water. Evolve into a 6/7. Hopscotch that 5/6.
Yep.
A dance to make the world blue.
That one didn't count.
It's also ramping into 7.
Hey, that's the first sign of emotion I've seen. Did it like a side juke there, just you know.
This is interesting. Sebwar puts up an interesting decision for Dragon.
Yeah. To kill or not to kill, that is the question.
You can leave it. You could
he could leave it.
Blazing Breath Tina or something, or just not care and just attack it with Tina.
Or not care and leave it there and just pass.
You could just leave it there. It'll evolve and do 4 probably, but.
Well, I mean, like I said, this is one of those. Sabrewer is just that card that is super good against Dragon, especially at this point in the game. You know, it's just so good.
Wow, he goes for playing Tina and then playing both of his removal spells on it, not even evolving Tina. You know, basically relying on the evolve later more than the removals, which I think we've seen people do before.
Yeah, so Sabrewer again showing its value in this matchup. You know?
Well, I mean, Bane is always good, but having Bane on something that also has a good amount of toughness is huge.
Yeah. And that can do burn damage immediately.
It's kind of awkward for Kionas. He's never really had a chance to put himself in vengeance.
Lucius, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Kionas doing the lean back. Yeah. The lean back signifies, oh man, what am I going to do?
The lean back signifies that he realizes Dragon's probably in the driver's seat from this point on.
Yeah.
I am the Mad Cyclone.
He doesn't even show the Is. He doesn't show the Israfil. Actually, I love that.
I like this, though.
You don't have to. Like, why? Why show
I
the
like
Israfil?
Akamaru Red playing mind games right now. I'm digging it. Oh,
Kionas,
man.
it's not like Kionas can extend into Israfil here, but
now.
if he does, yeah, he can't even. Never mind, he can't even do it.
Quench them.
I mean, I think you're just going to see Akamaru Red jam this polyphonic roar.
Probably, yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
he didn't even think about it. He's like, that's happening.
Polyphonic roar.
What a cruel end.
It's amazing. Remember when everyone used to think that that card was garbage? Like, no one wanted to play polyphonic roar. Ever.
I'm pretty sure for a while it
And-
was.
Was what?
I'm pretty sure for a while Dragon as a faction was just not played.
Well, right. And whenever you did see polyphonic roar, you didn't. I'm saying whenever you saw Dragon, you really didn't see polyphonic roar. You would see like
Right.
Satan in
Quench
game,
them.
like especially before like Bahamut would come out if you saw people playing it. So
Invite's all
Yeah.
I need.
Used to, Ramp Dragon's payoff was the now named Prince of Darkness. Bahamut
right.
anti-synergy with polyphonic roar. It'll actually pop his own amulet, which would be
Yeah, but
bad.
interesting. Well, he could. Let's see. What could he do? He could.
Oh, he can actually Blazing Breath the 2/4
can use his
prior
Israfil.
to attacking with Israfil, and the Bane won't go off.
Yep.
Fighting is so
And Kionas is
sorrowful.
nowhere near.
He knows it.
It won't be long
He knows the
now.
interaction.
Do
10-10
it.
Israfil will
I'll
live.
play a song of sorrow.
You know, animated Israfil is one of the best animated in the
There's
game.
nothing to be afraid of.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Kionas is just, oh man, he's in such a bad spot. This dragon's gonna pop out also. Israfil does 12 if she hits you directly. Dragon does 5.
Oh no!
Baphomet. Baphomet.
No.
These are the worst air jammers
No.
I've ever seen.
Yeah. That was sad.
They're pulling Ambling Wraiths and Baphomets. These air jammers just aren't doing it.
No, they're not.
Kionas is about to get OTK'd.
Yup. Oh, actually no, it's only what 17 damage, so it doesn't. He's not dead.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one
Yeah,
off,
it's only
but
17. So
he's got 10 mana to work with, so.
yeah.
I see.
Also Grimner. Yeah, he just gonna
Just
surrender.
swing it.
Poor Kionas. Oh no.
Yeah, I feel bad for
He's just
him.
gonna
That was
surrender. Wow.
yeah, that was. I just don't know what he could have done. Like his draws were just not there. He didn't draw any Belphegors or really any really strong continual lines of play that would give him that advantage that he would need. He just wasn't getting it. Dragon just was able to come back and take all the tempo, was able to land a polyphonic roar. Israfil came down, couldn't answer it, game over.
The way the Bane interacted there, allowing Israfil to live, was huge.
Yeah. Indeed.
A blood mirror.
Prepare
Ooh.
for defeat.
Well,
Witness my true strength.
this is a really awkward matchup.
He actually got Belphegor. I think you just keep the Belphegor. You don't. Yeah, you never get rid of it. Revelation.
And Revelation. See, that might come in very good in the mirror match.
Yeah, actually. Yep.
And they're both playing Vengeance Blood. So, oh, and he got the Ambling.
He also wheeled back the BKB, the Big Knuckle Bodyguard, which can be useful in this. So.
Now, in my experience, if you play Belphegor first, you're at a distinct advantage if you have Air Jammer, because you get the Air Jammer first, and
Yep.
that is basically the matchup.
Well, unless you pull 2 Ambling Wraiths.
Well, or then
That's also something we would never see anywhere else. Blood Wolf killing an Ambling Wraith would never happen in any other matchup.
For now.
Yeah, in this matchup it happens because doing the damage to the opponent is almost inconsequential considering they want lower health. So, you're going to be seeing people who do things like using their Razor Claws to take out their opponent's followers. You're going to see them trading a bit more.
I'm not
Like,
doing this for
in
you.
this matchup are you going to see that? This is a
This
really
is for sure
technical
a
match.
trade-heavy matchup. Belphegor,
Ooh. Yeah, that.
which sets up Air Jammer.
But,
Oh, really?
yeah, but the problem is that if he plays that Belphegor right there, there's still
Right.
that demon right there in play. Like,
That can evolve.
But my
yeah, that can
will
evolve and put him at 4. Now he's sitting on 2 Diabolic Drains for but I don't know if that would be enough to pull him out of the fire. And I think that it was like
Ooh.
kind of out of
This is
fear
a
that he.
Belphegor drain turn, for sure.
This is an easy Belphegor.
Yeah.
I like that he waited to play the Belphegor instead of playing it right away. It's now way better position.
Shall I grant you?
He is in a better spot for sure, because Drain puts him out of Vengeance, but, you know, you're basically in Vengeance anyway. Like,
Right, he has the Spiderweb.
you have Spiderweb
next
to reactivate it anyway.
Yep. I mean, this is. I mean, I think you just returned Belphegor, right? And no, or I don't know. You could use the Spiderweb Evo, take out the Bell, but I think you don't want to burn Sabru.
It's like gold to me.
Yeah. I like the Belphegor enhancer Belphegor, it's good.
And not only that, but he could have had a chance to get his own Diabolic. So,
Give it to me again.
That's true. Had he had Dialogue Drain, that would have been a much better turn for him.
and another
Belphegor.
Belphegor.
This is where they all went. They've all been the whole time.
They were all waiting just for this match.
Both players in Vengeance. Spiderweb Imp no longer costing 2 life, so pretty good little stat stick there.
I actually think he should play that Spiderweb Imp right now.
This is my you are
Protects the
Right on.
Belphegor, which could lead to Blood Wolf Air Jammer. If nothing happens.
Now, the Spiderweb Imp presents a little bit of an issue for Kionas.
Right.
Because he wouldn't
He's
be
not
able
drawing
to
Diabolic
play...
Drain himself, so he can't just Zerg into the 4/4 with a 1-mana spell, but
Right. So this is going to be...
do you
gonna be
Revelate this turn?
difficult. Huh?
I don't think you Revelate this turn, but
I actually am not opposed to that. He could play Revelation into the Spiderweb Imp, but then he's
Right.
leaving room for Air Jammer, and that just feels awful.
I mean,
but
the thing
think
is,
he doesn't
though,
have a choice. What else is he gonna do?
exactly, yeah. Kionas realizes that
I want it. It's like gold.
he's gonna keep drawing cards, looks like. Hungering Horde is just not quite good enough.
You are my food.
Yeah, this is kind of like one of the downsides of going second.
Shall I grant you?
Yeah, it is.
Second in this matchup, it's so hard for the momentum to shift back to your favor.
Mhm.
You basically would have to hope that your opponent just ran out of cards really early. But we've seen Akamaru Red play 2 Belphegors of his own, so he's got tons of cards. Plus, he's in Vengeance. He's got the Emeralda. I mean, this is just lethal. You know, so...
Weakness the
Yeah,
power.
Akamaru just has Emeralda to kill the, it kills the 1/4 ward when it enters the
He's
battlefield.
praying!
Kionas is praying, he doesn't have it. And he's just like, oh man, of course he's got it.
Oh man, this feels bad. He was praying. He had the hands together. He's like,
He was hoping.
please don't let him have it. You know, and then he did.
The 2-1 victory, Akamaru Red, will go up to be 2-0 now in the round robin, and Kionas is going to be 1-1. And of course, Bloodcraft mirror matches are kind of really kind of tempo oriented. I actually think that the key decision there was Akamaru deciding to skip the Belphegor on curve, despite the fact that he actually top decked it. even. I feel like that was a very smart way of understanding the tempo of the game and what would have given Kionas the advantage, because Kionas definitely had kind of the board space despite going second, which could have been very difficult, but that's how the cookie crumbles here for the players. And let's see how the round robin has played out up until today, and take a look at what the standings are for this first week in the European Shadowverse Open season. Praetorian 1-0, and of course Lana, Akai, Sheepy, and Akamaru and Kionas to follow there. Looking towards the bottom, of course, Akamaru Red going to be in charge 2-0, and some of these players, of course, haven't played their second match, but the only other person that can really compete with him in this second kind of match through is Praetorian, because he's the only other one without a loss. So that's going to be the player to watch out for. And of course, we're about to jump into Group B here soon enough, and it's going to be the matches for today in Group B are going to be DersEllo versus Symphonies, and then SCF versus Symphonies, and then Fontina versus Catch. So we have those matches to look forward to. And Group A has been pretty interesting for the first day, but we'll see what Group B has to offer. If you guys want to know more about the tournament broadcast and the schedule and when we go live and whatnot, make sure to go to shadowverse.nge.io for all that information. And then, if you guys want to talk about anything Shadowverse or Shadowverse Open related, or if you want to talk about Vengeance Blood and how you think Belphegor needs to be more commonly drawn in the game, then go to @ShadowverseGame and you can tweet at us anything you want. Hashtag NSVO with who you want to win. Also, make sure to check the panels to download the game, as well as give the Twitch channel a follow. We would really appreciate that. And if you guys are looking to learn more about the game, make sure you check out some of the YouTube channels out there for Shadowverse. For example, there's a very nice content creator, very smart guy, very entertaining fellow by the name of Ignitius. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel. You'll be able to get his channel information probably from one of the bots, and I'll probably plug him a few more times as well. But there's a lot of content out there, even Mana Surge's team website, or EXG's website, or Shadow Nexus's website. There are a lot of resources out there for you guys to learn the game, find out more about this wonderful card game that is Shadowverse. But with that, let's go to a break, and when we come back, Group B of Season 2 of the Shadowverse Open. the Shadowverse Open. Season 2 of Europe is underway right now, and we are at the round robin stages. The top 12 players in the European region, after 3 whole weeks of qualifier tournaments, have been decided and gathered here today. I'm Rainy. Joining me is Aya Senpai and the MV Bear, helping commentate and keep things fresh, keep things a little more interesting. Let's take a look at where we stand right now and kind of figure out how this tournament has played out so far. We've seen Group A. Now we're on to Group B, and there you have Akamaru Red and Praetorian kind of heading up the charge here. Everybody else with a loss on their record already. So there's a lot of ways that this group can go, but we still have a few more weeks of that before we can get closer to that result. Group B on the way. DersEllo versus Symphonies is going to the first match up here. Both from Germany, and if there was a second country that would be super popular, it is Germany here. France and Germany seem to be the big representative countries in the European region of Shadowverse. We have Vengeance Blood once again. If we didn't see it enough, now we're going to see it more. And Haven Aegis, except DersEllo has one drop of Odin in there, which I think is an interesting inclusion. Typically used in kind of tournament play, Odin seems to be cropping up here and there in these scenarios. And Symphonies is using Aegis without tea time. It's a very classic Ancient Lion Spirit Dark Jean Aegis list, which is very interesting. And his Runecraft deck is the first time we're going to see Master Mage today, which was incredibly popular in previous weeks. What do you guys think? Talk to me. If you were to bet against Aya Senpai MV, which player would you take to win here?
I don't know. Aya keeps picking the same people I pick.
Uh-oh. Well, now you
I'm gonna
have
go with
the opportunity
Symphonies.
to force them onto the other decision. So
I could have. I'm gonna go with Symphonies for this.
Symphonies?
I believe in him. Yeah.
Is that what you believe?
I gotta disagree. I gotta go with my man DersEllo. Gotta go with DersEllo.
Why?
I have to
Now I'm
disagree with you on-
interested. Now I'm interested. Why is DersEllo your player to pick?
Personally, I just like the guy. You know,
He's active on Twitter.
That's it. It has nothing to do with the tournament. I just like the guy. But
Do you actually? You know what? I'm gonna go research his exact Twitter handle. Do you know it off the top of your head?
it's the same as his name.
Is it? It's DersEllo as
DersEllo?
well. At DersEllo. Give him a follow.
Yeah.
Give him a tweet at. Talk to him about how wonderful he is. He always tweets out a bunch of really cool stuff. But DersEllo versus Symphonies. Okay, so you got your money on DersEllo, and you got your money on Symphonies. And I won't make a prediction, but I will be entertained by seeing who will actually be right here in this first match in Group B. We've seen a lot of games today. What do you think about Havencraft, and especially fighting against an Aegis deck that does not include some of these new cards like Garuda, Tea Time synergies, or anything like that? Talk to me a little bit about how you find the old deck versus the new deck, and what do you think are the advantages or disadvantages of one or the other, Aya Senpai?
Well, this deck is just strictly designed to crush aggro, period. It's just, I don't want to fight nothing. No aggro, no nothing. I don't want to deal with anything. The Ancient Lion Spirit, good, 2 damage AoE happens to be good again, so that's why he's using that. For those who don't know, AoE is area of effect, or essentially something that affects all things on the board, or all followers. So that happens to be really good against aggro. And the lack of, the March Hare's Tea Time, or at least March Hare's Tea Time is still there, and I believe DersEllo's list. But the other list, I believe, is just specifically designed to just crush, aggro, and even do very well against Shadow.
Definitely agree. He's playing the old thing that we saw with like Dark Jun acting like a 4th and a 5th even of a Ancient Lion Spirit, because you couldn't evolve always. But he also has Curate even too, so like, yeah, it's very anti-aggro.
He's like, I don't want to take any damage. Unfortunately, he's going to be taking a boatload of it. Okay, so
just a little bit.
Well, I mean, I think you definitely kill the Blood Wolf. I mean, you could choose not to and take 2 more damage, but I don't think that's the play.
Right.
I think you have to tribunal this.
Crystals of snow.
Oh, okay. Snow White.
Don't and just go. I completely disagree with you, and I'm gonna take the central 4 face or more because of the Angelic Knight.
I think he wants to set that up to if the Blood Wolf goes face,
Powerless. For
she
now,
can just trade it in,
I'm powerless.
Actually, I like this play too.
and then Cudgel can. Oh, never mind.
Powerless.
No, I like this play,
Ooh,
but still, but he's gonna.
is he killing Snow White?
I don't know if
He does.
Killed.
He does force.
This is
the
you should
damage.
still face it, right?
I think so, because that actually forces Snow White doesn't just evolve when she dies. She summons another Snow White that then evolves. So the Urias. That's why the Urias is triggered there.
Okay, so what's gonna happen here? This is an easy Priest of the Cudgel. Cleared his board up.
Yes,
He's gonna take
Cudgel.
2 damage in the process, but
No!
Urias putting in value work right now.
The real battle begins.
He is, yeah, and that's actually he actually got through 4 damage. Those Urias did 4 without ever hitting. They never attacked face, which is
Yeah.
kind of weird.
DersEllo with the nod. Ooh,
I want it. It's like
yeah.
gold.
I guess I can't say I'll blame him for jamming that.
That's a good top deck right there.
That was a good top deck. Not only was it a good top deck, but he got
I grant you
a Dark General in hand. He's got a Subruler, so he can start applying some really heavy pressure to Symphonist's face.
He can, yeah. But Symphonus has Curate next turn.
And
Even
he's running
Temple Defenders.
Defender.
Even Temple Defenders.
He's like, I shall not lose to any aggro.
This is, I think, Symphonus' deck is like a case study. Like, does this work anymore? Like, if Symphonus can't stop aggro, then this deck can't stop it. Like, this archetype can't stop aggro because he's got everything in here.
Yeah. He jammed everything he could. He's like, you know what? Everything goes in.
I'm just gonna shove it all in there. Although Temple Defender is much better early game because that's where she gets her best trades. Like against that Blood Wolf, for instance, she would have just killed it and it wouldn't have killed her. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is an interesting scenario for DersEllo. Unfortunately, though, Curate is literally sitting right around the corner.
Yeah, it is.
And
This thirst.
quench them.
Okay, this
and
one.
he's gonna Evo to take that out. I don't necessarily disagree with this. It would force the to have to trade into the Subroar
Right.
if that's the line that
However-
you wanted to go with.
However, Tribunal, Temple Defender, yeah,
That is a thing.
right?
Nothing to be afraid
That is a thing.
The Lord's will.
Symphonus is going for it. Holds his Evolve even too, which is good.
Mm.
I want it.
Another
It's like
Calculator.
gold to me.
Ooh. Eesh.
Dealt some Diabolic Drain. Emerald is a pretty good draw.
I've said my last prayer.
I mean, he does have the Emeralda, so when he goes back into Vengeance, which we know he will, he'll at least be able to fight again some more.
Save these pitiful lambs.
But this
There's the
happens.
Curate.
And
Let us
the
conclude.
worst part about this is that if this Curate gets dealt, which it's about to,
Yeah.
then he won't have the
Give it
Evo
to
for
me
the
again.
Aegis because he used it on this Curate. Oh, and
That
he's
is
not.
true.
But he does have this, and he's actually in a really good position right now.
Just Dark General here. Dark General next turn. It makes Aegis really unplayable. Aegis is just almost always not safe to
he's
just
gonna
slap down.
Curate.
But he does have Themis, yeah.
But my will.
This time, he's got Themis now, but next turn,
Yeah, next turn's a whole different matter. Oh, and an Air
Air
Jammer.
Jammer Dark General is so good here.
Yeah. DersEllo's resisting the urge to smile.
I want it. It's
Oh
But he's
no.
gonna Belfry.
Those were
I mean, I think that's fine too. And another air jammer.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I'm powerless.
Blood's the board.
For now.
It's a Urius
Yeah.
too.
Yep. And this Dark John once again doing tons of work, and by that I mean none.
Yeah, tons of negative work.
Doing no work, sitting in hand. I love Dark John, but this is not the matchup for it.
This is kind of like why we started seeing 2 damage clears sort of fall off. That's not good. 2 damage clears sort of fell off because they just weren't enough. Like, it's just not good enough. Unless your opponent's playing like bats or something. Which, I think that happened for a week, but then people realized Vengeance Blood stats were really good.
Right. DersEllo taking that game pretty handily. Unfortunately, though, for Symphonies, he just couldn't keep the game going. You know, he couldn't keep the board, you know, or like he couldn't keep control of the board. And the Dark John just didn't do anything at all. It just... Nothing.
Had he gotten the Temple Defenders earlier on, I think he would have stood a much better chance there. It's a very important card against Blood.
Yeah.
Against really anything. Anything attacking your face, I guess, actually.
I think it's really important to note that Vengeance Blood is not like any other aggro deck at all. And by that, I mean, like, when it gets to the later game, it doesn't necessarily just run out of steam. You know, when you're getting draws like Air Jammers, and you're getting Dark Generals, and you're getting when you're in Vengeance, you have your Emeraldas, and you get all this potential burst damage that could happen. Like, you could literally die at any time versus Vengeance.
Fighting in despair,
right.
all you know?
Exactly.
May
For sure.
be yours.
Yeah, they are Temple Defenders. They're not great now, though.
No, they're not good at all right now. However, Nisha is incredibly good in the mirror match, Aegis versus Aegis, because it reduces the damage of your opponent's Aegis.
Oh, you mean noise.
Right, but it's...
Right.
I mean, you could call it that.
You mean noise. Yeah.
You can call it noise. I'll call it Nisha, and... You know?
I thought you said Misha, and I was like, what like bear is in his hand right now?
Well, there is... Okay, so Symphonist right now has Aegis in hand, whereas DersEllo does not. So,
right.
If DersEllo doesn't get Aegis before 9, Symphonist is going to be in a very huge advantage.
There's his Odin, and unlike Seraph, Odin can't answer Aegis. Used to in this mirror, you could play the Odin to get rid of the Seraph, which would stop them from winning first. But you can't do that to Aegis now. If Aegis comes down first, it just comes down first. And you gotta just... You know, okay, you have an Aegis. Okay.
Ow! Stop! I think Symphonist is in very firm control of the game right now. When Snow White can't kill Temple Defender.
True.
I mean, you can Evo.
You can jam it in there. You can shove it in there twice, but that's not worth it.
Wonderful choice of words, but yes, you could do that.
Doesn't even evolve. He's not even caring about this. Double Black in Scripture is pretty good.
I've heard that. Black in Scripture, banishing a follower of 3 or less, and it did it twice because he had to
double banish. Saves the evolve.
Hugging those evolution points.
Both players are. He could have evolved the Temple Defender there, and then played Doggo, Heavenly Hound, to be a 2/4 ward. Guess he didn't feel it was worth it.
I would just
slap down Dark John?
Yeah, I would just play.
Okay, plays the Lion preemptively.
He can use the Dark John with his Aegis to pump it. So, I mean, that could warrant a reason for holding it, but...
That's true.
DersEllo's looking... He's not looking so good right now.
He can also do the really cheeky, evolve the preset Lion, play the Dark John for a 4 damage board wipe. Crazy. He's actually keeping the Star Gem pretty hard, so I think that is his plan, is to buff.
Uh-oh.
Zello is in trouble. If he doesn't get he just next turns, he's in trouble.
He threw his hands up in prayer!
This is bad.
Heavenly Father, please give me an Aegis.
DersEllo knows. He's like, this matchup. If he gets it, though, that's basically game, because it'll evolve first and attack twice first, so...
Love remedies all.
That's an interesting evolve. Just to get the doggo down.
Uh-oh. Oh, no!
Uh-oh.
Oh, no!
Odin can clear both.
Yeah, but you saw him. He put his hand on his head. He was like, "Oh
Yeah.
man, I'm dead." This is exactly what you don't want when
The
you're
spear
the first
of
player.
victories.
And
Yeah.
Symphonies has to be, humming some hymns right now because
For sure.
he gets. I guess.
And then, yeah, of course he has
he's-
DersEllo's like,
The
oh
real
man.
battle begins.
This also is very similar to Aegis. Like, if you're going for, or not Aegis, but Seraph, if you're going first, don't drop Seraph on 8, and then they're going second, and they drop Seraph on 8, and you don't have Odin, you're just like, okay. There's the Aegis, it was 1 card deep!
It feels so bad, but you know what? He does have the Nisha to cut the damage down for the next turn, so he does have that.
I obey the Lord.
He has noise, yes. He has the noise.
Yeah, 4.
Tribunal could just hit this Temple Defender,
I said my last
And it did!
and it did.
Oh, he could play. Yeah, he could. Oh, wait.
got noise.
He could have played Dark John first, and yeah, he actually has a chance. Oh my
Could've
goodness!
still played Dark John.
Yeah,
It doesn't
But-
matter. If you
what?
kill noise, it doesn't matter, because you keep the effect.
and this DersEllo might have found a way to steal this game back.
I think he did.
Yeah, he can't die right now. There's no way he can die because the Nisha. Oh my goodness!
Let me be
Doggo.
It's over. It's over. He
Your
has
angel.
Grimnir.
Your evil deeds end now.
Cudgel.
Let us conclude.
Right.
I see your weakness.
He had to evolve the doggo and attack the ward with the Aegis.
The darkness.
Grimnir just wins!
Grimnir doesn't kill him. No, I'm wrong. Wait.
Because he healed. He healed. You got me
Right,
not
he
looking at
did
Grimnir. But Grimnir's a ward. But he does have Themis.
Grimnir is
Symphonus
ward.
has Themis.
And he does. Oh my goodness, this is so difficult.
He can't Grimnir dog.
No. No. Because he dies at Themis. This is so hard for DersEllo. This is so hard for him.
You have to play the noise again, right?
Yeah, you have to. But then again, he's sitting on what? Let's see, 3, 5, 7. He's still sitting on lethal. So he would have to play that. He would trade into the 2/4. He could play the Nisha and the Heavenly Hound.
With the pride of the Red Branch.
What if he just plays
I guess
Grimnir also? He
Grimnir
just wards
is the
up
Heavenly Hound.
completely.
He could play the Grimnir and the Heavenly Hound.
Yeah, I think you just ward completely. Build a wall.
Yeah.
And
Is
unless
he gonna
Symphonus
skip, though?
draws his own noise. If Symphonus can Themis and draw noise, oh,
He only put up one board. He has to trade into the dog though, or he's dead. Well, actually, wait. No, he's still dead. I think. Is he still dead? No, wait, he's not dead.
he's not dead.
No, dog.
Not through noise.
Yeah. Oh man, this is a game, man.
But Curate,
Oh, that's what you want to
kill both
see.
minions again, and Curate makes it too much. There's too much. DersEllo doesn't have the reach.
In the
He doesn't
This
have
is it. He
Yeah.
doesn't have noise again. He has to Grimnir. Themis Themis kills him. That's it.
Yeah, Symphonus is gonna take this game.
Even literally the board, because Grimnir won't kill Curate. DersEllo can't do anything.
Yeah. That curate is not what he wanted to see.
my
That Curate was MVP.
Yeah.
Well, Healing Angel was MVP, I think, but
Yeah, that Healing Angel. He DersEllo even knows it. He's like, "Yep, I'm done." So Nisha, unfortunately not winning the matchup. Oh man, I guess one turn later.
yep. I mean, it's that matchup usually comes down to who played Aegis first. Okay, that person probably wins. It's a card that can't be answered. It can only be delayed. It can't be answered. So.
Well, I will say DersEllo played a really good game despite Symphonies played a really good game too. Like he controlled the board, didn't take unnecessary damage, didn't evo unnecessarily either. He kept his resources pretty much on lock, and then he jammed the Aegis. They both played well. It's just unfortunately DersEllo he got his Aegis second. And he was the first player. Yeah. That's the worst part.
Yeah, that's what hurts the most. Is he went first. He could have had it. He could have jammed it first, even through 2 noise. It was so that just shows how important it is too. Like 2 noise delaying the Aegis 2 turns, and it was still because Symphonist had it out a turn earlier. Was able to hit him that one time.
All you know? I guess you're looking for a fight.
Oh, at least he won't have to worry about that anymore. Now he has to worry about magic shows.
This matchup is, I think, okay for DersEllo. He doesn't have many heals though.
No, but he can handle a lot of like as a Haven main. I more often than not don't have too much trouble against Burn.
No!
Right. Yeah, I feel like you have banishment options. You play a lot of wards. You've got board clears. I feel like this is pretty good for him.
But he got Red Hot Ritual coming down, taking out the dog.
No,
Sorry.
no.
Hits with that 0 attack minion. Show dominance.
Oh yeah, psychological damage all the way.
I am the mad cyclone.
I feel like they're being hit more often. Ooh, that piercing rune, but he's gonna just Halo Golem this. Piercing rune could have gotten the same amount of damage through, but
Stop!
And he decided to hit him
that 4/3 is
just
good.
to let him know.
No cudgel.
This is not. DersEllo is in a bad space right now. Bad space.
He's probably eaten 6 this turn.
Yeah. I mean, if he draws a March Airs 2 times, he could have
My power's uncontrollable.
a bit of a chance. A bit.
This is piercing rune. Ooh, Oz. But he's gonna evolve this in piercing rune. Yeah.
I don't even blame him.
Yet.
He gets in for a lot. He gets in for a full 8.
Gather round.
8 damage, putting him at 8. And unfortunately, DersEllo has no ways of clearing board. It's not what you want to draw.
He's got, dude. He can jam Snow White in twice, I guess.
Yeah, but there's 6 damage on board right now, and he's gonna play the Wizardess to draw something that burns.
Crystals of snow shimmer.
Oh no, maybe not. It's
This
possible.
is just 2 damage. If he gets 2 damage, it's over. He has the evolve. DersEllo knows. That's Psy.
Yeah.
Oz is gonna find 2 damage. There's no way. Oh, he didn't evolve.
That's a little puzzling. And he didn't get any burn damage.
Wow.
He didn't get any. Wow, this is exactly what
And it's
DersEllo
gonna banish his Calamitous Curse. It's not that big of a deal.
No, it's not that big of a deal in this matchup.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's the
man.
Mutagenic Bolt.
This is the break that DersEllo needed.
Yeah.
Wow.
1 turn. He gets to play Curate. He gets to go to 9.
I think it was just a tad too greedy to not Evo and go for that damage.
Oh yeah.
I'll save my
Oh yeah.
daughter.
Taboo's coming down.
Experiment.
Board's gonna
Aegis
get,
is down.
you know, mildly feisty. Aegis
No,
is next
no,
turn
Aegis still.
if he gets it.
Yeah, but I mean, he's got double Tribunal to clear board.
Mm-hmm. I think Grimner Tribunal is a bit. You save the evolve for Aegis? I think you save the evolve for Aegis.
No, I think he should go for the Radiance Angel, right, to draw into the Aegis, right?
You can't play Tribunal through that.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Man, this is tough.
I think you do have to play one Tribunal.
March with the pride of the
Goes for the noise.
I don't know why this play.
The noise evolve.
Oh, he's gonna put one Tribunal. That's right. Okay. He's gonna get the Tribunal and a Heavenly Hound.
Yeah, Tribunal Dog. Yeah.
See you soon.
This noise likely won't protect him from too much, though. I don't think he's gonna take. There's nothing on the board to take any damage from.
Right.
Nothing for these rats to trade into. He can Dark Jun them away.
Well, he has the
but-
Dark Shot. He can kill it himself.
Yeah. He can Grimner into Dark Jun.
False idols can't
Or
save
just
our
jam
world.
Dark Jun. Or do that backwards, even. To get the more effective HP.
A Flame Rat, when it dies, to me, is hilarious.
Yeah. There's also considering, like, you already know they're playing Mutagenic Bolt, but you have to consider after you've seen one, like, what if they just play another one and I extend into this and have no way of getting rid of it? Because again, DersEllo doesn't have Aegis.
No, he doesn't.
Crystals of
And if he
soul
did,
shimmer.
Yeah. Even if he did.
yeah. He's still not out of the woods. Oh, man. No.
Oh, gosh.
No.
Levi Mutagenic Bolt sets up so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
The order doesn't matter here.
No. Next turn, that Levy. And still no Aegis. So
He
it
has
doesn't
to play
matter.
Radiant Angel.
Yeah, has to. 100%.
But I know DersEllo knows that.
Lost in wayward
Yeah.
ones.
He knows that.
Oh, and he draw another one!
Well, he can't play it, though.
No, he can't play it, but it's still really good that he drew another one. Now, the question is, can he...
Just a mage who's as old as
Is he going to be able to draw the damage? Is
DersEllo's
Symphonies gonna-
face right now, he knows, dude. He's like, this is
Yeah.
so
just like
close.
back in the old days.
He's saying, please don't kill me, please don't kill me, please don't kill me, please don't
Please
kill
don't
me.
kill me. Please don't piercing rune. Don't piercing rune. Don't piercing rune. He's like, no,
Alright,
no,
here we go.
no.
The moment of truth.
He didn't get
And
it.
he didn't
It's
get
not
the
open
piercing
yet.
rune. But he does have the Master Mage Levy.
Does have Master Mage Levi who can do 3 damage to anything without an Earthright.
He's like, I'm not.
Oh, DersEllo. Oh my gosh. One more turn.
Yo, DersEllo's
But this is still bad
face
for him.
right
If that
now.
doesn't, that Tribunal can't kill 3 things. He doesn't have Themis.
Yeah. And he drew the Aegis,
Finally-
but it's so late.
Finally gets Aegis, but it's too late.
Yeah.
He can't evolve. He can't really do anything.
No, like this is unfortunately the end. This is. I don't see how he can't. What could he do? Like,
Realistically, from
What
his
did he
side of the
draw?
board, I think you have to Radiance Angel into 3 mana into 3 play point Grimner, right? Just to get that 3. You basically heal, quote unquote, heal for 6, right? And you because you have the effective health of the Grimner. But Master Mage Levi just wins.
not brutal. Not what you want to draw.
Yeah, Odin is not what you want there, and yeah, that's what he goes for. But that's just not good enough. We know it's not good enough.
Nope.
Symphonus comes out ahead.
Symphonus.
The name's Levi.
No,
yeah.
DersEllo, he's like, no.
And the head shake. Just both times. Yo, that's just some bad luck.
Oh my gosh. DersEllo he always drew Aegis 1 turn late. It was just,
DersEllo
Yeah.
suffering
Bad
a
luck.
heartbreaking defeat 2-1. And it definitely was a game of options, it really felt like. I think Heavenly Aegis, really has that reputation, though, of like constantly needing to draw into your options, and I think that's classically what Havencraft has to deal with. it just really felt like it hit DersEllo very hard. But Symphonies, both with his Aegis deck and his Runecraft deck, was able to take 2 solid wins here. What do you think about now that the game is over? Do you think it was impactful, the fact that, I mean, it didn't seem like Ancient Lion Spirit necessarily had a spectacular showing, but remember we talked about how this was the no tea time list, right? Was there anything that could have benefited DersEllo from running this similar list, or was there anything that Symphonies could have done in terms of winning even harder or making it not as close, if he was running tea time? What do you think, Envy?
I think with Vengeance Blood being as popular as it is, Ramp Dragon being as popular as it is in this tournament, these decks, Ramp Dragon of course, puts up lots of stats, and you want to banish the early game anyway, through like Ayala and stuff. When Vengeance Blood puts stuff on the board, it's almost like Daria. When Daria put things on the board, there's something like Oglers and Darias and stuff, and Lion and Jund don't do anything to that. 2 damage is just not good enough when no one's playing bats. No one's playing like bats and like 1-drop only sword. So I don't think those 2 cards are very good right now. I really don't.
And I think it's interesting that you mentioned that, because last week of the qualifiers, Bat Blood was so popular, right? Was probably the most popular Blood list to run, and I wonder if that's a fake out, right? And why so many people think it's such a great idea to bring Darkshan as well as Ancient Lion Spirit, is because they expected the Blood list to be Bat Blood, but now everybody's bringing Vengeance Blood. That might have been the one big adaptation that they were trying to go for to try to fake people out. But Symphonist moves on. He wins 2-1, so that's going to be the first win in Group B against DersEllo. DersEllo will be 0-1. We'll move down to EXG SCF versus HSK Sizoni. Of course, Sizoni was a favorite of Aya Senpai's, and I don't know how Envy feels about it. I know both Aya and Exodian were big fans. What about for Essia? Essia's running a neutral burn Runecraft deck with Gilgamesh thrown in there, I believe, which is the big interesting thing. And then the Shadowcraft deck is Minth with the Deathly Tyrant. And on Sizoni's side, Karabos Bat, so that's what we were talking about. His Conjuring Force Runecraft deck got banned, unfortunately. And then Odile Mid Shadow. Talk to me a little bit about this. Aya Senpai, maybe you can speak to Sizoni's part, the tragedy of the banned Runecraft deck, as well as Karabos Bat, and Odile Mid Shadow. How do you feel about Sizoni's chances?
Without Conjure Force, I'm not sure.
Oh no! That was his golden ticket.
I mean, I'm gonna root for him anyway because he brought Conjuring Force, but
so actually, interestingly enough, Essia versus Sizoni is a rematch, if I can recall. I'm trying to remember Sizoni in the qualifier tournament. Who did he have to face in? Because Sizoni came from the loser's end of the bracket, and he beat, was it Essia twice? And the first time Essia let Conjuring Force through, and Sizoni won. Was it Essia? I'm gonna have to go back to the qualifiers.
I don't think it was Essia.
I don't remember that at all.
I don't think it was Essia. I think it might have been somebody else. But Sizoni did have that situation where he played from the loser's end with Conjuring Force, won it, reset the bracket, and then played again, and Conjuring Force was banned, but Sizoni still won. You think that's Sizoni's golden ticket, though?
I'm confident, my boy. I think he's going to take it.
All right. Well then, Envy. Essia's running this Gilgamesh neutral burn rune dirt deck. What the hell? What Gilgamesh? What is this card?
What do you mean? Gilgamesh rune is really popular. Come on. What do you mean?
It is.
I'm being trolled. I'm being trolled right now.
I have to cheer for Essia just because he's on EXG. They're the underdog team, like I said. They have to win something. I want them to win things. So
talk to me a little bit about Gilgamesh in the context of the neutral burn rune. What is it that makes it powerful? What is it that makes Gilgamesh an interesting card for this deck?
Well, nothing makes it powerful. It is still Gilgamesh, but if you run it in the neutral package, you can play it alongside Feria is her name. She buffs all your neutrals. And it's going to be in your hand for a long time. It's an 8-drop. So it's likely going to be hit by Alice at least once. So, you know,
It's
mana
more
6 damage.
to do with the
I'm
neutral
okay.
package than it is to do with Rune in general, and Rune is just aggressive.
Yeah.
So I'd assume it is a game ender. So that's what's going to be in SCF's pocket. We're going to jump into EXG SCF versus Sizoni quite shortly. It seems like Sizoni is the one to be backed here, and of course Envy, looking after the old school, is looking after EXG SCF. Is going to be the one slated to win. Now, Senpai, I hate to inform you, but Envy is up against you 1-0.
Yeah, Envy is up against you 1-0.
This is it. There's only this match and the next match left. If Envy gets the prediction right here, you have to get her dinner.
I don't remember ever agreeing to this stipulation.
Well, that's how it's gonna be. Talk to us about how this mulligan is playing out, Senpai.
All right. Well, Ezio wanted an earlier curve, and he does have a goblin, but he didn't get it. Never mind, he got a 2-drop. So, yeah, and then Sizoni, unfortunately, he got a 1-drop too.
Drawing into what they need. So Zoni's also playing bats.
Yeah,
I just said
he
bats
loves
for
his
that.
aggro
Now he has
decks.
bats.
He loves his aggro. So, which is sweets, unfortunately, is not. Wait, it should get the card draw, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it should get the
There's
draw.
only one rune card in hand. Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't glowing. It usually is, and it wasn't
Oh,
glowing.
right. I feel you. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, no, it should definitely get it, and it got it. So,
No.
someone's
bats.
going with the playing the bats, and that's, I think, a completely fine line.
The Mad Cyclone.
It comes down, but these bats very important.
Yeah. It's just playing a really sort of interesting list, I think. Like, it's like, it wants to find neutrals to buff neutrals, to play neutrals, but it also wants to play Oz to find spells, which are actually probably going to find neutrals instead. It's kind of like one of the quote-unquote tricks people are doing with Oz nowadays, is not playing that many spells, and just using her to draw minions. They just dump a bunch of minions on the board, and then play Oz to refill. So,
Well, he does have 2 Wise Mermen in hand, so he can use those on his neutrals to pump them and get cards out of his hand. So, yeah. Angel of the
can do
Word
that.
is
Yeah,
good
you
here.
just like dump down next turn.
batch will be tastier.
He's got good
Angel-
trades on the board though, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. For those who don't know, Angel of the Word has a fanfare effective deal 1 damage to an enemy. That can be an enemy follower or your opponent's face, because your opponent is your enemy, so you can shoot them.
Base is the place.
Nice and dead, and get some damage in, or maybe not dead, but you know, you can kill people with it.
Man,
Some of the
like
fun is lethal.
Grimner into Angel of the Word, buffing Goblin twice, going face, just seems so juicy to this.
Yeah.
It's kind of blown up by Big Knuckle Bodyguard BKB, but you know what doesn't get blown up by our friend BKB?
Right, most things get blown up by that.
Yeah,
However,
most
he
players
could-
get blown up by that.
Yeah. I was gonna say that he could opt to just play the Piercing Rune if he wanted, but
Ooh.
I'm like, okay, so he opted to have a beefier Grimnir instead of having a full board.
Oh
with the
no,
Goblin.
the BK! I was gonna say this play
yeah,
it's even
this is
more
gonna hurt.
blown out by BKB, and he top decks one. So Suzuni
Yep.
is just gonna slap that down instantly.
No thoughts. And now, you know, Essia could be in a little bit of trouble.
What are you
A little.
doing?
This is where Blood can usually swing the game back around. They get closer to Vengeance, they get more mana to work with,
Going on?
become a lot more dangerous.
What are you
He's sitting with a
doing?
5/5 on board, so.
He feels confident.
Oh,
That one didn't count.
yeah. Not what you wanted. I mean, you just place a brewer here?
I think you just jammed Sabur here, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you just placed a brewer.
It makes the Oz weird, you know. You can only play one piercing rune
Wait, so-
next to it. And Bane.
Yeah, he's certainly. Well, he is susceptible to double piercing rune, but he would need something to Evo first to double piercing rune because they both cost 4. Unless he decides to play the Oz, but he would then only get to play 1 piercing rune. Oh, there's a
That's bolt. That's not a bad bolt.
That is not bad. However, if he I think he should just play the mutagenic bolt as is, because if he played the Oz and then the Oz died, he would lose his whole hand.
Yeah, for sure. You lose your piercing rings. He evolves the flame rat. Woo! He goes in. He's gonna flood next to it too. He's just not scared.
He's like, thanks for the damage, bro.
This is gonna get reversed on him pretty hard with double piercing rune.
Yeah, but it could hurt a bit. Yeah. Oh man. So Oz.
I don't know. He
got
does
Oz
have Razor Claw Dance of Death on the reverse.
Does.
Huh?
Finally a break.
You actually have to play the piercing runes first, because if you evolve Oz here, the piercing runes go back to costing 2. Because their cost reduction overrides Oz's cost reduction. So.
Yep.
My fictions will save you.
He's definitely trading into the flame. Okay.
You kill the rat for sure. Dance of Death, Razor Claw is not enough for lethal. Sap War is good to just slap down.
I mean, you wouldn't want to just go for the Dance of Death Evo face?
It depends. I mean, if you're scared, are you scared? Being at 8? I don't think you're scared. Never mind. You're probably not scared.
Against a deck that runs potential Gilgamesh?
Nah, no way. Potential Gilgamesh. He's gonna top.
You know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Like he knows that he's running it. I'm saying that. Like, are you scared? The answer is yes.
Listen for This is one of those turns where Lyriel is just so good. She answers this board for free almost.
No, it's definitely free. Not only that, he can play Lyriel into the Wizardess. So Zoni right now is sitting with 5 damage in hand.
He is. Alice.
Yeah, but
Not gonna come down this turn probably. However, he could play Lyriel Evolve, play Alice, play Faria. And that's a really strong board. That's a very strong board.
It is a strong board, but okay,
and that's gonna be his play. Yeah, that's his play.
Nothing wrong with that.
I bloom on stage.
No, Suzuni. Oh, it's going crazy. Like, no.
Suzuni was like, oh no.
What is this play?
Still win. He can draw a Razor
Claw.
Oh,
it's not good enough.
Oh man,
He needs one more mana for that.
Yeah, and he obviously doesn't have one additional turn remaining.
Well, no, he does. If he wolves, or if he sabors the 5/2, he's alive on board.
Right, but I mean, like if he had decided to go press for damage, he would not be alive. So I think he would have to Razor Claw this.
Ooh. Uh-oh.
Unbelievable.
That's gonna get reversed on him pretty fast.
Here it is. Oh, well, actually, that
doesn't activate. It's not enough.
No, it doesn't activate, but he does have the Wizardess that could draw into. Yeah.
Oz.
I mean,
if she breaks though,
I am a fiction.
if she finds nothing, she found nothing.
He bricked. Unbelievable.
Oz. Poor Ashia. No.
Wow.
He can't do anything. He can't do anything.
He didn't even regular brick. Like, he really bricked.
My boss works us to the bone.
Poor Ashia.
He's like,
no.
Oh my goodness.
Looks like you are.
His Razor Claw.
Oh man. Suzoni even had to get up.
Poor Ashia. Suzoni, yeah, man.
He had to
Brick
get up
on
and take a breather.
Four card Oz.
Yeah. That was...
He's talking to somebody, I think. Looks like he's talking to somebody.
He might be just talking to himself. He just like, man.
Yeah, maybe he's like, man, I'm so glad, you know, they didn't just randomly win.
Oh man, that was a difficult to win game, and he managed to find it.
He got there.
That brick was legendary.
Mother,
Like,
father.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Come on.
Not only did
let's
Oz
play
completely
together.
brick, but she also found the other, the last Oz, the third Oz. Like, heavenly bricks. Is that a skeleton ogre? Skeleton ogre. In Esh's
That
hand.
is a skeleton ogre.
That's a new minion from the new expansion. 2 mana, 1/4. Also, when it attacks, if you have 4 shadows or more, it will nom 4 of those shadows and gain 2 attack permanently. So,
Nom nom.
Food should act like food.
that's a real thing.
That's a
Official
real thing.
phrase. Yeah, official phrase.
I guess it is now. This man's got mint on. He's got mint on deck. Mint. That's not a card you see.
Not always, but we know why he has it.
Oh yeah,
Because
we
he's
definitely
playing-
know why he has it.
Yeah, he's playing Tyrant. He's playing that 10 mana, 15 damage combo.
But you know what? Not hate.
He's cosplaying a dragon player. He's trying to play dragon.
Alright, so Symphonies got a pretty decent hand here. I mean,
Sazoni's hand's coming together nicely. I like it.
do you just play the zombie part? Oh, it's okay.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Goes to the party. I mean, Bone Chimera into Dog was pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He opted not to, which is fine.
sure.
Great. You need one of these?
Act like food.
For sure.
Pot of greed.
Double Inkers. Okay.
That's
Interesting.
That's kind of the things nightmares are made of.
It's not very good right now, but it, you know, eventually
No.
can be.
So
If he soul converts the 1/1, that'll die for free. Whoa! He's gonna evolve the 1/1 even.
yeah. You don't think this is a little?
That's I think it's a little aggressive. I don't think that 1/1 was gonna do it. And plays a Soul Squasher when his opponent can evolve this following turn. Is very interesting.
Yeah, I can't say I understand the line, but nonetheless.
Maybe he plans to Soul Conversion Minth the following turn, setting up Shadows for Death's Breath. Maybe.
I guess?
Soul
I
Squasher
mean-
instead of Cerberus there is interesting also. Suzuni praying for something. I'm not sure what. I'm not sure what he's scared of.
His opponent's playing cards?
Yeah, everyone seems to be scared of that.
I'm pretty
Also,
scared of my
cracking his
opponent
own
plays
Bone
cards.
Chimera there was weird as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why he chose to break his Bone Chimera.
Do you know the eternal?
There's the Minth! I knew it!
Maybe your prop coming true.
He's gonna Soul Convert the Demon Eater, evolve the Minth? Huh?
Well, your original play was that he was gonna soul conversion to men.
Oh, wait, no, I didn't say that. What? Soul
Yes, you
Conversion
did! Yes, you did! Yes,
Okay.
you did!
I plead the fifth. He didn't Soul Convert. Interesting.
No, he didn't. I'm actually kind of surprised he didn't soul convert.
I am too.
Yeah.
Food should act like food.
There a
Demon Eater into Necro Assassin on the Minth.
that
The void will be there for me.
why he didn't play the soul conversion. Like,
Yeah, that was... There's the Tyrant! There it is!
but
So it's actually a good thing he
He's-
killed the Minth, otherwise he would have eaten 15 damage to the face. and had a 15/15 to answer.
Warrants an immediate response.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
from this
She's one of those
down.
cards that's like, she's like Zell. If you like, of course you can just kill her, but if you don't, she'll just win the game. So
Right.
Death's Breath, I think he's considering evolving over the Necro Assassin here, which would give him a little bit better board presence. I want to say
I'll show you.
initiative. Board initiative. That's what the word was. Couldn't think of the word.
I
so
know.
hard.
Initiative.
So quiet.
Just okay. So
Ooh, that was so good! That
Was
top
really
deck, you can
good.
just zombie party this. All he has to do is zombie party. He can even evolve one of the zombies or the Demon Eater even. Kill another zombie. I like it, dude.
Suzuki is in the think tank.
Could also set up Cerberus,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then he's got the
Well,
evolve.
I
he's
mean,
got-
Serb would take out two things.
Serb would take out
Zombie
everything.
Party would leave a bigger board, but he's opting to play Ektar here.
Just go for that, yeah. Wonder if he evolves the Eector here to kill the 4-2 or one of the 2-3s. Probably one of the 2-3s dies the Eector here.
He is really hugging those Evo points.
Yeah, Suzuki is holding on to them for a long time. I imagine. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I imagine. You keep a zombie and you also get him for 3 chip. Also keeping the Demon Eater. I don't think you had to lose it anyway, but just keeping that is good.
Well, the opposing Ektar only produces a single zombie, so I don't think that's going to be his line of play here. The
No,
Soul
I imagine
Squasher
Soul
kills
Squasher.
the Ektar.
Yeah. Soul Squasher even into Skull Beast is actually pretty good because he replenishes himself nicely here.
Yep. And he still has 2 Ektars sitting in hand.
He does. Another Cerberus.
And yeah, another Serb. He, if he wanted, he could just start pushing damage, which I don't know. Do
You have to respect Eector on the back throw.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Do you think that?
Angry.
Yeah, I think
Definitely.
you do have to.
Clear, definitely.
Yeah.
Because
Have
even
to
though he
respect-
doesn't create zombies, the board was full of skeletons, so. Doesn't kill the 1-2.
Well, he doesn't want to give him. I think he doesn't want to give him 2 zombies. Like,
Right.
but he's gonna get 2 zombies anyway.
Right. 2 zombies anyway, but no evolves. Kind of
But
makes.
at least this
kinda
way he
makes the
does
Eector kinda
damage.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think Eector's still his best play this turn.
Agreed.
I'm stuffed.
That seems odd. If this Skull Beast trades, he could have thrown the Skull Beast into the 1-1 to keep the Skull Beast on the board. Unless it goes phase. No, it traded, so.
Alright, so now. Oh boy. I mean, do you just not play that? Do you play the Serbs here? Or Serb?
Serb is
Sorry.
kind of weird. Because she doesn't actually kill Eector. But I
No,
think
she
that's
doesn't
gonna be his
kill,
play.
but it's like. It's not really doing anything to sit.
Oh, the Lich! Lich also kills Eector. Unevolve here.
Yeah.
I'm stuffed.
Conversion.
Oh, that hurts.
Finds a Necro Assassin. That's good for a Deathly Tyrant. He has no other way of answering it.
Your flesh and bones are mine.
Not that it matters yet, but.
And again, Ektar is only going to produce 1 zombie. So Suzuki's been doing a very good job of keeping these
Yeah.
Ektars in line.
He has for sure, but Ed should just top deck another Soul Squasher, which will take care of that for sure.
Do you think that he's gonna? Well, I think that Soul Squasher is better than playing Ektar.
I'll live again.
Yeah, I think Squasher cashing the value while it can is good.
Well, ooh.
Because Suzune can't evolve again. Ooh! Phantom Hell. If he had been playing Cerberuses this whole time,
Yeah, see?
he would just have lethal here.
Yep. So this is. I don't think there's really much consideration for playing. No, I don't think so. Let's see. How much can you see? He plays a Serb, but he won't be able to clear this board.
Contemptible white fowl.
Ooh, I like Odile a lot here. She kills the Spartoys at the same time, which means you take no damage from them.
You're mean.
Not only that, do you? Would he consider playing Necro Assassin?
Onto Thane? Possibly.
I mean, it's a tough
Oh wait,
call.
he attacked the. No, wait, he attacked that. So if you don't, yeah, actually, if you don't, Myth top deck wins the game. So, which would be.
And he knows that his
He
opponent.
didn't do it. He didn't do it. Please.
Uh-oh.
Nope.
Oh,
Never lucky.
oh man, you know
Never
what?
lucky.
Heart skipped the beat, man.
He can dig for it though.
He's praying. So he's got his hands up in prayer. Like,
I think this
man.
is just over for Esha though. He's too low, and Phantom Hell is in hand.
Yep.
He's gonna search for Death's Breath here. No, he's actually gonna play Ether. That's just game.
So prayers.
Sazoni's making all kinds of gestures over there. He's like, "Come, what are you doing? I don't care. What are you doing?"
I knew Fane will follow.
He's gonna get the White King through Demon Eater. Oh, it's not enough. Phantom Hell's not enough.
He's like, oh yeah, boy. Wait. Oh.
He almost has to play Ether.
He's like,
oh no, he's like, oh no, come on. He has to play Ether, I think.
I mean, it still leaves him in a good position, but I mean, he'll still have the Phantom Howl lethal, though. I mean, yeah, he should still have Phantom Howl, right? Yeah, he'll still have Phantom Howl, so it's just gonna
Death's
take.
Breath
Oh, he's not gonna
Assassin
do that.
if it's hits the Demon Eater. No, don't hit Demon Eater. Sazone.
Oh
Oh
no! Oh no!
He didn't drum, but the ward is still there, and he can clear the board with the zombie party, which also floods the board. Oh no,
man! This is Shadow Mirrors right here.
This is a nail biter right here.
Yeah. This is a hand biter. Just your whole hand, just gnawing
It's
on
an
it.
arm nibbler.
Oh man, this is a rough game.
You have to keep your ward relatively full health.
Oh no, you have to keep it full health, I think. But
Ogre soul conversion first? No, just playing Tyrant.
Tyrant. Okay.
Just playing Tyrant. We in there.
I mean, though, isn't he? Wait.
It's so quiet.
There, he keeps the ward full health.
That's good. That's
second Phantom Hell. That's lethal.
He can win off of 2 Phantom Howls.
Yeah,
right?
it's lethal.
Yeah, he wins off of 2 Phantom Howls.
He has more than enough shadows. That's lethal. 2 Phantom Howls.
Yep.
Moody with the lucky top deck gets the lethal. He has 10 damage through 10 ghosts using 10 shadows.
Yup. Army of ghosts coming through. This is only waving his hands in victory!
What a top deck. Poor Esha.
Yep. Great top deck.
His board at full health, dies to 10 damage. The irony of that is that he's the one playing Tyrant.
Yeah. Wow!
I can't believe it. a 2-0 victory for Symphony. Right at the end, he top decked. Talk to me a little bit about the Odile play. I think that was actually a very dangerous spot. Was there a way to have rearranged how that would have played out, that it would have been a little bit safer? I mean, obviously, kind of... I just feel like there was a point where Symphony had certain options, and I think he made a play that kind of put him in a very dangerous spot, and I feel like he almost lost the game to that. Ayasapai, what did you think about that performance there?
Well, I obviously think it was great, but personal bias. However, addressing the play that you mentioned, the play I was thinking that he may have made was, play the Ektar to clear board instead of playing the Odile. The Odile play just happened to work out. He did get the 2 damage that he needed to, get those Phantom Howls, and he just good job, man.
It was a super intense series, and I think Symphony made some very, very difficult decisions for sure. Envy, on your end, what do you think? Was there a different line of play that SCF could have pursued to kind of lock in his victory? I actually think, how tragic was it that the Minth got lost right before the Deathly Tyrant came on? What really, in your mind, could SCF have done if there was any line of play that SCF could have chosen to more solidify his spot in the match?
It's really hard. The turn he played Minth and evolved it, he was stuck in like a rock and a hard place, kind of, because like when you play Minth, when you play Zell, when you play anything on 4, it's gonna die. Like, they can just reverse evolve, it's gonna die. But at the same time, you're playing a combo cheese deck. Like, your win condition is Minth, Tyrant, or to grind them out over 30 turns, which is what he had to do because he tossed Minth into the battle. That turn, I think when we were talking about it, Minth into Soul Conversion was probably a bit stronger. Not onto Minth, but onto the other minion.
Right.
I just want to make that clear. Not onto Minth. Don't kill your own Minth. But I think at the end of the day, you're playing a combo deck. Like, you got to go for the combo. You can't just dirtle around and hold half the combo forever.
You heard it here first. Don't dirtle around. Hold for your combo. Don't dirtle. It's not safe.
Dirtle.
It's not healthy. Dirtling is not good. Stop dirtling. Hashtag. Alright, well, Symphony moves on, and so you guys are 1-1 in your predictions now. This final match will decide who actually gets the stake. Fontina versus Catch will be the final match that we see today. Crimson Fencers is who Fontina is representing, and this is going to be a very interesting match because Fontina is the only player here to have fielded a Forestcraft deck. So we had one instance of Sword and one instance of Forest. Sword by Kionas, interestingly enough, also from France. And Fontina here is going to run Roach Forest with Into the Looking Glass, just to get some more synergy out of the Twin Archers, Twin Assault, as well as maybe some other reasons why you would pull that in. There's actually quite a lot of great synergies with neutral in hand for Forest. But OTK Dragon is the alternate deck. So he's running 2 combo-oriented decks, and the banned out deck was D-Shift. So literally everything was combo. And Ayasaba, you were talking a little bit about Fontina as a player, and you know that he's very combo-oriented. Do you think that there's a space in this tournament play? Do you think that there's a method that Fontina can use to kind of consistently figure out a way to win this match, or do you think it's risky to bring so much combo-reliant firepower?
Well, the thing about combo decks in general is that they're risky just on draws. Like, if you get a great draw, it almost feels impossible to lose with the combo deck. But when you're not and you don't get a great draw, it just is one of the worst feelings in the world. So I know Fontina he loves combo decks. He will play combo decks, and it doesn't matter what format, doesn't matter what tournament, he will play combo decks. He loves them. Playing a triple combo lineup, I think he's just like rolling the dice.
He's all in on that strategy. For Catch, actually, from Germany, by the way, another... Actually, I guess this is an iconic last match here, France vs. Germany in the European Shadowverse Open. But for Catch, he's the only one to run a Blood deck with Spawn of the Abyss. Spawn of the Abyss, you know, back in the day, there was a time where Prince Catacomb thought he was hot stuff and tried to overcharge people for his services. I think Spawn of the Abyss was trying to cut corners, you know? He was like, you know, certain fast food restaurants, nondescript fast food restaurants, where back then the burgers were that big and now they're just like that big, you know? You're just like, hey, what's going on here? Huh? Spawn? I'm paying $5 and I get a smaller burger that's smaller than the palm of my hand. What's going on? And that's actually really relevant because now Spawn of the Abyss does 5 damage on his effect. Do you think this deck is actually going to make something happen, or is the fact that it's control and slower than a Vengeance deck going to kind of run into problems against combo-oriented decks, Envy?
Usually combo decks, like I said, if they draw well enough, they can just be invincible. Combo decks have another problem though, in the fact that if the enemy is just fast enough, well, 2 problems really. If the enemy is just fast enough, they don't do anything. They don't get their combo fast enough. And then also wards. Wards are a problem for them too, because they have to attack. And Roach can't attack zombie wards. And Dragon can, if it's not Forte. But yeah, I think Shadow, if it gets Death Breath down, it's over.
It's over. So Shadow, interestingly, this Shadow list that Catch is bringing has no Phantom Howl in it, and we saw how useful that was for Suzomi. That doesn't exist for him, so we're going to have to see how Fontina and Catch kind of clash heads here. But before we jump into that, I want to take the time to remind you that there's some excellent content out there. If you see any of these decks in the Shadowverse Open and you're curious, how do you play them? Well, there's a few ways you can do it. First, you can join the Discord. That's where you can talk to these fine people here, IS Senpai and MV Bear, as well as the one that is missing today, Exodium. He will be glad to lend a helping hand, and just in general, it's a good community to join and kind of talk Shadowverse and find maybe a clan, maybe some friends to play with. And also, make sure you check Ignitius does videos about decks that are used in the Shadowverse Open, where he builds them, plays them, does commentary over them, and gives his thoughts on why these decks might be successful or why not. But with that, we're jumping into Fontina versus Catch, the last match of the day. We've got Swordcraft. Thank you. Swordcraft. All right, what are your predictions? Who's gonna win? Who's gonna buy the dinner? Let me know how it's looking.
Well, I think that Fontina is at a very strong advantage in this matchup. Roach has historically been very good against control blood decks, so I don't expect that to have changed.
True. And of course I have to go with Catch just because you didn't, so we have to see. Even though Fontina plays combo decks, and I usually like more combo-oriented decks, he is playing Forest, and I do think the Forest is going to be a slight crutch, so...
That's fair. That's certainly possible.
This is my home. You are my force.
Deep down in my heart, I want Control Blood to win. You know. Down. So, like, I'm not even kidding. Like, because Control Blood is literally one of, if not my favorite non-Haven deck. I love Control Blood, and I'm playing it right now. I have been loving it so much. So, I mean, I want the Control Blood to win, but I think that just the advantage in the matchup goes.
For sure. It's a card we haven't seen in a long time. Wardrobe Raider coming down at 4. Once Catch is able to evolve, turns into a 4/5, but when it evolves, does 2 damage to something and also heals Catch for 2. Kind of like outclassed by Saboir, but you know, you can play both, so why not?
Well, I wouldn't say completely outclassed. They kind of do different things a little. You know, at least Wardrobe Raider, when it comes down just to do things, it has Bane, and you know, it gets full stats on Evo too. Like, they're a little different, especially since Saboir's effect is
Realistically, the advantages you get from playing Wardrobe Raider is just the fact that it comes down on mana earlier. But see Fontina fill the board a little bit. He's just looking for combo. Roach combo decks are basically just find Fairy Circle, Nature's Guidance, and some Roaches. So he's got 2/3 of that combo to make Roach do a lot of damage.
Yeah, but he doesn't have any roaches.
He has no roaches. Unfortunately, yes. And here's something else too. Urias is really, really, really good against Forest.
It's incredibly good against Forest.
It's incredibly good, yes. They want to jam a bunch of fairies on the board. They want to get their combo count going. And when they have to keep summoning minions into that, Urias just starts doing like 2, 3, 4, 5 damage to them just for playing their roaches. And that can add up.
Point out how good this Soul Dominator is going to be.
Guide me, Elder Tree.
That Soul Dominator is going to put in work.
And that's actually how important that card is too. He had traded from Urias there. He couldn't kill the ward, get that off the board, so it stops value trading with him. But he had to. And he even digs for a roach, but he finds one, bouncing the fairy, goes for the fairy circle, even breaking that combo piece.
Oh, he's going with the Bandersnatch. Do you really have time for that though? Like,
does Fontina just have this without an evolve with Angelic Snipe though? If he clears his own board.
Oh wait, okay, no, he's not going for that.
He must not have it.
And he's doing these plays rather rapidly, so he must know that he just doesn't have it.
Well, I mean, when you play these decks a lot, I feel like you know. Because he has a lot of damage. He has Fairy, Fairy Circle, Fairy, Roach, Nature's Roach. You can shove a Angelic Snipe into that next turn, but it doesn't matter! Soul Dominator has Storm.
Ow!
That's what I'm talking about, man. Sometimes combo decks, when they're building their combo, they just aren't fast enough. They just get outsped.
Wow. I think he would. Fontina would have needed at least one more turn, and possibly have needed to draw one more Roach.
No, I think he had it for sure. Because you have two with one Natures, you have 2 Roaches, and yeah,
we had 2 Natures.
I think he had it for sure. Without, I've forgotten his entire hand already, but I do imagine he probably did.
Roach math, man. Alright, so into the second game. Fontina switching to his dragon deck and catching the
Dragoon, ruler of the skies.
This is actually a good matchup for is that Altered Fate and Dragon?
Well, he's playing OTK Dragon.
Oh right. Oh. Right.
Yep. Is it combo deck?
I thought I heard Storm Dragon. I heard Dragon and I thought I heard Storm Dragon.
No. He's playing OTK Dragon.
This is why it doesn't even play the Ivory Dragon out. This is normally a good matchup for Shadow, but OTK Dragon's much different. It doesn't even play like a Dragon deck. It just kind of plays a lot of basically similar to Roach did, but it has a little healing. So.
Well, it also has access to other potential spawns, such as Ifa, Wyvern, Also has I don't think his build is running Fortes. But he does have inside.
Ooh. Imprison Dragon into Orthrus. Both cards we haven't seen for a while. That's gonna let Catch get in for 6. That is so brutal on turn 4.
That is a lot of damage.
And a Dragon Warrior would be great here, but he doesn't have one in hand.
No.
And he's forced to just pass turn without summoning anything. This is terrible for him.
This is terrible.
This is horrible.
Yeah. And then he can't even deal. I mean, you just Evo Lyriel. Oh, he's not even Evoing the Lyriel.
Evolving Lyriel was a net game of 1 there, because she does evolve for it. But I guess spreading out his stats is something he'd rather do instead. But he's got him at 6. This is just over.
I admit
defeat.
It's just over.
Wow, that game was quick.
Gosh.
Oh my god. What?
Poor Fontina.
I mean, we talked about it before we headed into the match, but combo decks, right? There are certain things about combo decks that can make you want to karate chop a table in half when you play the game. And I feel like that was definitely one of them. But, what do you think? I mean, obviously it's a very pointed matchup. I think the Swordcraft match was actually pretty interesting just in the sense of, you know, you really want to pull Roach as quick as you can, but also he needed to spend one of his Nature's Guidance to dig, which I think probably lost him the opportunity to swing lethal. I think he was on play point 8 when he had that opportunity.
Right.
I'm not sure how much health Catch was at that point, but I feel like you could probably do about 14, 15 damage. So he might have been just short, but if he had the extra Nature's Guidance, maybe not. But I don't know. It's all really a lot of supposition. But Catch takes the win over Fontina. If Fontina continues using these combo decks, do you think that there would be a time where he can win consistently enough to have a top placing in the round robin, or do you think there needs to be some other look at the decks that he brings to the Shadowverse Open, Aya?
I think that he might want to reevaluate. As mentioned before, combo decks, they're very flaky, and when you're playing against opponents who get draws like Catch did, what do? You roll over dead. I think he might want to reevaluate his whole lineup of being combo decks.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, definitely Catch with the Soul Dominator play, as well as the Shadow deck with the Orthros included in there. Some very interesting decks being fielded here, and Catch will take the win. Let's see how today has been tournament-wise for all these players. Group A, of course, we saw in the first half of the tournament, Akamaru Red is leading with the 2-0 score line. And over on Group B, it's a tie between Symphonies, Sizoni, and Catch. Now, all of these matches will end up catching up at the end of the 4 weeks of round-robin play, but so far, the undefeated ones are 5 of the 12 in the top 12 of Europe. And that's going to be Akamaru Red, Praetorian, Symphonies, Sizoni, and Catch. Now there's more opportunities for these bottom players to kind of take over their spots in the round robin. And there's still a lot of opportunity to do that. So a lot of games to be played, a lot of head-to-head matchups to be explored here. But after the first day, what do you guys think of the European scene that you've seen so far? Anything that is enlightening to you guys? Anything that is surprising? Anything that you're looking forward to in terms of players or anything like that? Envy, how do you feel?
I feel like today has sort of just like reminded people that thing I said about EU like way long ago in like season 1 of the NGE thing. Is that EU is like much more likely to try new things. NA is a kind of like by the books sort of region that likes to play Sword a lot. They like to play things that work. They just know they work. And EU is all about, we're gonna play Tyrant, we're gonna play Orthros randomly, we're gonna play OTK Dragon. Like EU has fun with their tournament picks. And also everybody playing in like random things.
Yes.
In the first round means they're harder to predict. So
definitely, and I definitely agree with you. We definitely saw a lot of different decks here. Probably Vengeance Blood being the one that was the most popular. But even then, some certain different blood lineups, different rune lineups, and a few different things. Ayasepai, how did you feel about the tournament today? Anything that stuck out in your mind?
Honestly, no. There wasn't anything that just grabbed me other than maybe the sword list, but we never got to see Otohime, which was kind of saddening because, like, well, you put Otohime in the deck, man. Let us see it. But
definitely agree. Definitely agree. So, with that being said, that wraps up our first week of the European Top 12. After 3 weeks of qualifiers, we found all the top players in the European region playing Shadowverse right now and pit them against each other. We'd like to remind you to go to shadowverse.nge.io to get any information you could ever want about when the tournament is broadcasting, who these players are, and even some kind of articles and news updates about Shadowverse competitively in the Shadowverse Open. Also, at Shadowverse Game is going to be our Twitter channel. Make sure to give that a follow and stay tuned for announcements on that channel. And you can go on Twitter and talk to any one of us as well as Shadowverse. So make sure to do that. With that, it comes to the end of the day. Download the game, the panels. There's so much to do in Shadowverse and so much to learn, and we're learning every day watching these pro players. So from me, Aya Senpai, and Envy Bear, thank you all for tuning in, and catch you tomorrow at the same time for the North American broadcast. Have a good evening.